Yes, people, welcome to another edition of From a Third Eye View on Pi Radio, brought to you by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note, and I'm joined by my fellow co-host, my like Mr. I've seen more in the night than you've seen in your life, aka Bloodstro, aka Big Book Stro, aka, you get me, New House Stro, aka New Bathroom Smell Stro, aka Big Backyard Stro. You know what I'm saying? What you telling me, Stro?
Yo, what's
You
wrong
good?
with this guy? Like,
What's good? Yo, we gotta celebrate these things, innit? You know what I'm saying? You gotta celebrate these things. You know what I'm saying? When you got
well out here,
you do very well out here. You love to see how people shine in football.
Man.
You gotta get me Anfield in the back garden and that. You love to see it, fam. You know what I'm saying? You love to see it, fam. You know what I'm saying? You get me triple glazing windows and that. Stroll out here. You know what I'm saying? Stroll out here, yo. Triple glazing. Stroll got that. Get me that strong. You get me for that wind and that. You know what I'm saying? Stroll out here. Stroll out here.
Yo, you're stupid.
You get me? Wine cellar in the basement. Let's go strong. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be
You got the
needing
converted attic and that. You get me? It's another bedroom. The
Yo, you man are the worst. Like, I swear,
the
dog.
master bedroom got ensuite. Not even a bedroom, a master bedroom.
the master
fam.
bedroom.
Master bedroom.
Yes, the master bedroom. So yeah, people, Stroll is doing very well, and we gotta celebrate these things. You know what I'm saying? Off broadcasting, we have to celebrate when things happen with our brothers. So yeah, how you doing, Stroll? Yeah, I'm saying that. How you doing?
I'm
You doing
good.
very good.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
You doing better than most. You know what I'm saying? You love to hear it.
Man.
I will also, that wasn't planned either, people. Oh, this is from a Third Eye View, I's best people. But yes, and also joined by special guest, my brother Cody. My like Tox is in the building. What you saying, Tox? You good?
Whoa, man's back in it.
Yeah,
What's going on, people? Man's wagging work for this, innit? Like pull the sickie one time. Yeah, man.
That's literally how this show came about. Is Tox just hit me up and was like, "I'm not in work. Is there a shot on is there a spot on the show?" So I was like, "Yeah, pull up." That's simply what happened. But yeah, go on.
There we go.
Finally,
Go on.
Tox is spending time with me. I've been waiting for this. Do you understand how long I've waited for this? Since this show started, I have asked for this guy to come on the same show.
This is how you know this guy don't rate me. Man's been on the show with him before, you know. This is how you know this guy don't rate me. This is how you know, innit? It's like though, innit? It's like though.
No, but I mean, like, without
It's
being
like
told
you got a
last
lot on your
minute.
mind, innit? You got a lot going on right now. innit?
That is true. You do have a lot going on. That is a valid point still. You know what I'm saying? And that new houses and all the things.
That's the most
You know what I'm
stressful
saying?
thing you can do.
That
innit?
is
New house,
moving,
innit? So,
yeah.
man. You got
Like, have you man turned into Dion Dublin? What is this?
say you got
Like, what is this? Like, seriously? What is it? Is this home improvement?
Yeah, you home improving, fam. You know what I'm saying? And that you home improving. That's what that is. You home improving. But yes, love to everybody who is locked in, whether you're locked in live watching on the YouTube or you're listening via DAB radio or more traditional radio means. Make sure you hit the like button on the video. Share it across all the socials as well. And that's me, Flawless, on Twitter and Instagram. And that way you can find Stroll socials and Toxic socials as well. And the Premier League is about to start on Friday. So
thank God.
it's about to start. The Premier League is back. So that's what we'll be doing during this show. We'll be giving our opinions and going through who we think the favorites are, the top four race, dark horses, relegation, golden boot, who's going to be the most underwhelming this season, biggest most successful transfer, most disappointing transfer. We're going to get through as much as possible and answer any questions you lot have towards for the last half an hour of the show as well, people. Large up everyone in the comments. I can see you already. Shout out to Ibrahim who says big up. KD says, just let's get this out there. Liverpool ain't winning no title. We're going to get into that as well. Large up Gabriel who says, yo, big up people. Large up to Sasha as well who says, big up the chat, big up the panel in the chat. Hope everyone is good. Yes, everyone's blessed. I hope you're good too.
Large up Sasha.
And Gabriel says, Stroll moving wild. Yeah, man, Stroll out here, man. Big buck Stroll, you get what I'm saying? And that big bucks blood Stroll, you get what I'm saying? And that you out here winning. You feel what I'm saying? Let's go, Stroll. Love to see it. But let's get into it as well. Favorites for the Premier League title. Of course, you have to put Manchester City in there, considering they're the defending champions. So Manchester City, without question. Chelsea also having the momentum that they're on, having won the Champions League, obviously finishing in the top four as well. Tuchel, Lukaku's there. So they're riding a wave of momentum. So to me, you have to put them in the mix. Well, we'll go with you, Strong. We'll start with you. Obviously, it's your team. Are Liverpool in the mix for the title?
They're in the mix. They can win it. Whether they will win it or not is a different story.
Okay, go on, elaborate.
Because our transfer window has been poor.
It's been non-existent.
Yeah, that is true. You haven't done anything. That is true. That is a very
It's like Kanate is a great signing. like a great signing. You look at him, he's colossus, he's quick, he's one of the top 3 fastest in Europe. Like he's an unbelievable talent. For 30 million for a 21-year-old with the uplift that he's got in terms of potential, that's a phenomenal piece of business. Then there's nothing else. Literally nothing else. Like
I'd love to see from a United fan perspective, your transfer window's been great. It's been great to see.
But are you even like in talks to sign somebody, or is there even like strong rumors going on? Like I hear nothing.
There was talks in Niguez from Atletico Madrid and McGinn from Villa were the only 2 I heard with any form of him.
The McGinn one was never ever non-existent.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're the only 2. They're the only 2 names I heard to answer Tox's question linked. They were the only 2. I didn't hear anybody else.
So this is what the mad thing was: is when we didn't spend anything in January, we were told that Liverpool are going to have a big summer. Everything's gearing for this big summer. And I'm like, what? Where is it? Like I'm waiting, and then I got told what I got told today, and I'm like, if that happens, I understand.
Are you able to share? Because I know you have your links behind the scenes and whatnot.
Basically, there's a certain move which is happening, which everyone knows about. Okay. Particularly someone going to PSG.
Okay.
Messi to PSG. He's talking about people.
As a result of that, PSG are now more reluctant and more forthcoming with letting a certain someone go this summer because his contract's up next summer.
I can't see it.
Because talks is, I've heard, so we'll go into that, even though it's a Premier League show, we'll talk because that's just major news. We know how Messi and Ronaldo move football whenever something's going on. I've heard that PSG do want to sign Messi, and it's looking that way, but because something to do with the wage budget, they have to move on an Mbappe or one of their big earners to sign him. That being said, we know how football works. We know money runs it, and they always seem to find a way around these things.
They seem to find a way. However, Mbappe's made it perfectly clear that somebody's not signing an extension.
He did say that, but you know what the difference is? And I understood why he said that. But with Messi coming in, there isn't a more attractive proposition for Mbappe than him. Real Madrid and Barcelona, especially Barcelona, they are not more attractive propositions for, and that's not just Mbappe. I'm putting Haaland in that mix. Why you would go to either one of those 2 right now, to me, unless you're going like it's an NBA thing, and it's like, I'm not just going, I'm taking 2 or 3 man with me.
But the thing is, different. even if you go right now in this climate, you have to know I'm the only person that they're taking. If they get me, there's nobody else.
And this is where a lot of it's so. Forget Liverpool for a second. Mbappe made it perfectly clear over the past 18 months. He's a big fan of Klopp. LeBron James owns Liverpool. Him and LeBron have got a clothing range coming soon. LeBron's openly posted memes on Twitter and Instagram basically saying Mbappe in a Liverpool shirt because he wants to make it happen. And then all I hear for the past 12 months is Liverpool are having a big summer next summer. I'm like, well, where's this big summer? So we signed Kanata and nobody else. Then I see that. Then I hear that, well, wait a minute. There's movement in terms of the fact that PSG are happy to let Mbappe go this summer. You've already said Real Madrid aren't realistically going to be in the mix because he ain't got the money, and it's just going to be him as a signing. You start adding pieces together, and you think if Liverpool pull this off, not only are we back in the race, we arguably become joint favourites at that point.
It's a game changer. Signing someone like Kylian Mbappe makes you a game. It's a game changer signing.
Whether that happens or not, it's a different story.
Yeah, I can't see.
I don't think it will. I think he stays at PSG.
I don't think it will. However, the fact that
I just want to say, big up to all the mods dealing with the fake accounts in the chat as well.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Always. But it's like the fact that here's the thing, right? It's that I don't think that happens. However, I'm told by multiple people that we are looking into trying to see how we could structure a deal and stuff. Whether that happens or not, it's a different story. Where's the business behind that?
Yeah, you don't just put all your eggs in that basket. As well, it did look like there was going to be no movement in terms of Messi going to PSG up until over the last few days.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's not exactly been something you've been anticipating to know that Mbappe is now an option.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, from what I was told, was basically we were gearing up for it next summer.
Right.
In terms of they know that Real Madrid are going to go again. I can see them having a Galactico 2.5 next summer. Really? Liverpool were trying to be in the mix for next summer because he knows how much of a fan he is of Klopp. He loves Anfield from the time he played there, the whole LeBron James link. So I get it. It does make sense. Whether we can pull it off, different. the structure of that deal's complex.
Exactly, it's massive money. 1 and 2. I said Messi's a game changer. I think he stays at PSG now. I think Mbappe. I think before Messi was going there, he was leaving. But now Messi's gone there. If there's someone who can make you stay at a place, it's Messi going in. You're not going to wherever he goes. He's not going to be playing with 2 better attacking players than Neymar and Messi. It's a step down.
No, it's
why you would leave that, especially on top of that, if they have a successful season as well.
He could have that. Like when Neymar left Barcelona, it was kind of like, I want to be the main guy.
Yeah,
I want to shine. I want to be the main figure. So it could be a situation like that if he is wanting to leave, but. Again, with you signing Messi and Neymar, it's like that's your best chance at
winning Champions League. Realistically, and if he goes there, you look at the signings they made. Donnarumma, incredible signing. Sergio Ramos is a serial Champions League winner. Yeah. Wijnaldum, Champions League winner.
San Hakimi.
Like there's so many things they can do with that system now.
Yeah, because if he wants to play a back three, he can play a back three. If he wants to go 4-2-3, 1-4-3, good.
And it's just like
it's ridiculous.
They are the favourites for the Champions League now.
Yeah,
and this is what I mean. So it's like if I'm Mbappe, I probably would stay there another season.
Yeah,
but I'm staying there. Like we're talking about Madrid and them having a Galactico summer. Even with Mbappe, they're in a rebuilding job, like losing Ramos. If you look at that, Varane's now gone.
You've lost your spine.
Are aging. Benzema is aging. Their attacking, their wide players ain't good anyway. Like from when Benzema said what he said about Vinicius Studio, about I swear he's played against us. That lets you know the levels of what that is. Hazard's not really hit. PSG are the new Galacticos.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. So it's like when you look at that, it's like, although obviously I've been told what I've been told, it's too complex. Like it's too complex to try and get it done over the line at this point.
How long is this window? When does it actually close?
Is it first weekends or first couple of days in September?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like the 31st of August.
Yeah, end of August. So it's like 2 weeks. That's what I'm saying. So it's like there's not. I ain't really thingy on that. But my whole point is forget Mbappe for a second. Is where's the midfielder to replace Wijnaldum? Yes, we've got a bag full of defenders now, which we needed after the injuries we had. But we're losing Salah and Mane to the African Cup of Nations in January for at least a month.
Is that a month? I've heard.
Where's the attacking threat?
How true this with the losing Mane and Salah to the African Cup of Nations is only for the 2 or 3 games, even though it's the month, just because of the way the games work out. This is what I've heard. How true that is, I don't know.
Because of the FA Cup, she got the FA Cup in January, but even still at the same time, a month.
Yeah.
I can't rely on Origi.
You don't know what state.
Shaqiri's gone. Shaqiri's not in the squad tonight, so he's.
Oh, is he gone? Where's Shaqiri gone? Who's that? What's rumors? All right, what's the
Lazio?
Is that what we've heard?
That's a mistake.
It's Lazio.
That's a mistake.
If you don't replace him, it's a mistake.
This is my point. So I've literally Liverpool fans have literally just been led down a one-way path in terms of next summer's going to be great, and FSG once again have under-delivered. Which is why I'm sick to death of FSG. And then you look over, right? And it's a lot of people don't rate Lukaku as a player. However, he will make a difference to Chelsea.
100%. We're gonna get into that. Like, we're gonna get into that.
So it's like you've got that. Sancho Varane is one of the best windows I've seen Manchester United have since Van Persie. Let's keep it up serious for a second. They're game-changing signings.
We're gonna get into that as well.
I disagree about the best window.
No, but like what window?
You know what? It should be a game-changing signing, but with our manager, it's not. That's the problem we have.
Say that again. Sorry.
What window have you had better since?
Jose's first, where we signed Ibrahimovic, Mkhitaryan, Pogba.
It's up there. What I get?
He changed the whole spine.
Stroll saying
he changed the whole spine. But what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, if you look at those signings, Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, he didn't do what we needed him to do. Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, I agree with Ibrahimovic and Pogba. But what I'm saying is, it's one of the best signings or best windows, and it's still not finished. And it's, you look at it and I'm like, the only thing that's going to let United down is Ollie. The signings are unbelievable. And then it's like, then you look at City, Grealish. That's another game changer.
We're going to get onto that as well. But before you continue, hey, everyone who's watched him, but the likes are way too low. Let's get the numbers up. Because we got almost 20 people watching and we're not even double figures of likes. So get the likes up on the video. But go on, carry on.
Yeah, so it's like, can we win the title? Yeah. No one expected us to win the title when we did, especially in the manner that we did. So we can do it, absolutely. Because Klopp's got a chip on his shoulder. However, whether we do or not, it's a different story. All this comes down to FSG and the lack of...
Are you third favourites?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah.
You don't think they're fair favorite?
I think Liverpool are going to have a terrible season. I think you might miss out on top 4.
All right, go on, land on that one. Who's finishing it?
Whoa. I beg, put money up for that now.
How much are you talking?
50.
I just want to say to everybody watching, please make sure you gamble responsibly and only with the bill payer's permission. We can't.
Yo, he is so
gambling. These two are both of age. I just want to put that out there. Homeowners, I'm just letting you know, people. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all that is.
Guy's bought a house. He's willingly gambling money.
He's really,
he's doing well.
He's doing well, Stro, in it. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
but I just have to put it out there. You know what it is? Because we have youngers who may be watching, and it's like, I don't want to, like, I'm just letting them know, like, you're both grown, both homeowners, both fathers. So, yeah, I'm just letting them know. Please gamble responsibly. For me,
the reason why I say that, it's like, obviously,
I'm intrigued. You're always going to get a Tox take. So
obviously, you finished 3rd last season because of injuries. I feel like you don't have strong players to come in when you're missing players. With Sané and with Salah and Mane,
did the same thing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, with those two being out at the African Cup of Nations, you don't know what state they come back in. It's well within the realms of possibility one of them gets injured at the competition. Like you can almost those types of things can be written sometimes. Like you can see those happening. Mm-hmm. So it's like you don't know what state they come back in. If you're selling players like Shaqiri, who would to me replace one of those if they was to be injured, but you're not bringing nobody in. I'm wondering like what's going on. We don't know what state Van Dijk's going to be in as well. Like you would hope he's made a full recovery, but you don't know what state he's going to be in as well. You signed Konate. You would hope he can take right to the Premier League, but you know, I feel like there's too many questions. Yeah, there's too many questions. Mark, if you're transitioning as well, if you're trying to get used to the Premier League, but you don't have Van Dijk next to you, who is firing on all cylinders because he's trying to. You know what I mean? Pre-season for everyone has pretty much been non-existent. United have had 3 games? Yeah, we've had. I'm not happy with pre-season of 3 games. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that ain't a lot.
It's just I feel like there's way too many question marks. And if you guys don't make a few signings over the next 2 weeks, I am worried for Liverpool over this next season. With the other teams as well, City has still got business to do. Chelsea and United. My question to you is who replaces Liverpool in the top 4? Leicester. You reckon Leicester have enough? I don't know if they do. I go Leicester because they've been very consistent over the past however many seasons. Everton, for me, are a bit of a dark horse.
Especially with Benitez.
Yeah, got a point to prove. He's got a point to prove to the Everton fans.
Especially with Benitez.
That is true, but I don't think they have enough to go from 10th to 4th.
I hear that, but I just feel like that's my dark horse pick. But
if I was going to go dark horse pick for top 4, I'd say Villa, but that's just me. Because I think Danny Ings, if he stays fit, they now have a proven goal scorer.
Well, their signings as well.
They're making very good signings.
I just don't think. I want you to be right, Tox, in terms of Liverpool not finishing in the top 4. I just don't see it because I think their first 11, even if they have a bad season in terms of injuries, I think they still, and I don't think they'll have an injury hit season like they did last season. They still have enough to finish in the top 4 because they're 11. They're point blank. They're 11 is good enough to me.
Yeah, but for me, they're 11. There's question marks over the 11. Like I say,
with Van Dijk, because you don't know how he's going to come
Van
back.
With
but Konate, I would say, is an improvement on what they have.
I don't know what's going on with Henderson. I'd like to hear from Bloodstraw what's going on with Henderson. But for me, Mane and Salah, like there's so many question marks, and I feel like they struggle for 4th place. Like,
do you think you struggle for that way? Do you think you struggle for 4th place? I disagree, but do you think you struggle?
Can I just say,
finally, I've got a measured answer from Tox
instead of some wildness.
It started off wild, but then he measured it.
No.
I don't have that many characters.
Because you see that people, Twitter's not the place to say all the time for football.
No, because here's the thing: I agree with 90% of what he's just said.
Yeah.
Like, no, I 100% agree. I think the drop off from our first 11 to our squad isn't good enough.
Yeah, we know that. Yes, that's why I don't think you win the league.
But we won the league with a similar drop-off anyway, so that's the point I'll always go back to.
You didn't have many problems with your first 11.
That's the point.
Yeah.
The
thing is that I think you're coming up against with Chelsea added into the mix, City added into the mix. They're 2 top teams who can now compete.
My second point is Van Dijk, we've staggered his progression. So he's played 4 preseason games and he played 70 minutes yesterday and he looked good. He could have scored a couple. It was the same Van Dijk spraying passes left, right, and centre. Problem is, though, although it was played at a decent pace, it wasn't played at Premier League pace.
Yeah.
So we need to see how that gets tested.
Yeah.
I expect it to be Van Dijk and Matip against Norwich at the weekend. And even then, I expect Van Dijk to come off after 60, 70 minutes because you need to slowly breed him back into it. I don't think Gomez is going to get bred back into it until realistically September, October, because he's one that has suffered with a lot of injuries in his young career. So I understand that. Mane is a different player this preseason. Like I've never seen. He looks powerful. Like I'm talking the Mane a couple of years ago, barging players off the ball. Like he just looks different, and I'm like, this is good to see. Problem with our front three is Firmino. He just doesn't score enough. Like when we won the title, he scored 1 home goal all season. Like that's not good enough.
Yeah. I'm very surprised that even though FSG haven't spent money, you haven't gone and tried to sign players on the cheap. Like so it's like even your front three we're talking about, when those three were signed, nobody was talking up about those players taking Liverpool to the next level. You signed Salah from Fiorentina, Firmino came from Hoffenheim, Mane came from
Salah from Roma.
With Roma, sorry. Yeah. Firmino came from Hoffenheim and Mane came from Southampton.
But it's like,
when those three were signed, people weren't saying that's a front three that's going to win you a league title and a Champions League. But what surprised me about Liverpool, if you've not gone again and tried to get players to back up those three.
So this is what I'm saying. So it's like
who we might not be aware of.
I expect Jota. So I think the front three
against Jota as well.
Yeah, the front three against Norwich will be Jota, Salah, and Mane because Jota scored against yesterday, and we're playing.
That's a great signing. That's what I was expecting more from was Jota signings for you.
Yeah, but this is what they've been talking about, like an out of nowhere Jota signing this summer, and it's just been non-existent. It's like
why is that? FSG just.
I have no idea.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
It's criminal. It's actually criminal.
It's actually like you fight for so long to get yourself back on top. You then get on top and you just become complacent. It's like, what are you doing? And it's like after everything with the Super League and everything like that, like you're just waiting for the negativity and the bad press. So it's just like they need to sort themselves out because Liverpool fans ain't going to accept this.
Yeah, because Ryan's been saying the same thing. And large up to Eddie as well, who says, well, going with the G's, LOL, I came into the madness. Yeah, you did, man. Big up to everyone who's come over from Sarcasm City TV as well.
Realistically, Liverpool fans need to be complaining and making noise from now because we've even seen the backlash from the Super League that even got the Glazers to move. So for everyone to have that backlash and for Liverpool's owners to then be as lackadaisical as there's been this summer, to me, it's criminal.
Yeah,
it's criminal.
But you know what they've done? Because Klopp's kind of now like a victim of his own success because you've been successful with this kind of model to an extent. They're like, we know
even
that Klopp's
last
good.
Season.
Yeah, they know that Klopp's good enough to get the most out of a limited squad and still compete. That's the way they're looking at it, and that's wrong because it shouldn't be. Because if Klopp was backed fully this summer, Liverpool are in the running for the Premier League and the Champions League. I still think they're capable of winning both. I think the Premier League is definitely much tougher because of what Chelsea and City have done. But with a favorable draw, I think Liverpool will be there or thereabouts in the Champions League.
And this is the thing that's crazy. It's you look at the job Klopp did last season in terms of the injuries, in terms of you look at the last 10 games, we were 10 points off fourth. We finished third. With Reece Williams and Nat Phillips at centre back.
That's the thing. If Liverpool would have finished outside of the top four, which wouldn't have been crazy because of where you were,
then I think we have a big summer.
Like, you should be doing that anyway. We need to get back, but because you had all the injuries, you had 60 different centre back partnerships or whatever it was, crazy. They're looking at it like, well, we can still finish top four. We're not gonna have that bad of an injury crisis. Van Dijk's back.
Yeah, but
okay,
we just lost Robertson.
Yeah, but FSG, this is sounding a lot like the Glazers, to be honest. We've been here as Manchester United fans. Like it's sounding a lot like what happened under Fergie because Fergie was still successful. It's like we're not gonna we might invest, but we're not gonna invest fully to the max. Especially having a look at what Chelsea and City have done. FSG should be looking at and go, how are we not investing fully?
And that's why I'm quite passionate about it because I hate Liverpool with a passion, but
100%.
I've seen it before.
Yes,
and it's like there's no excuse for it. Like it's genuinely criminal.
Yeah, it is.
It's criminal.
Honestly, it's disgusting.
It is absolutely. So
it's like for me, I feel like we are third favourite, just given our 11.
Okay, so that being said, let me ask you this before we move off Liverpool. What are your expectations? So with the current squad as it is now, so say the squad stays the same, Shaqiri leaves. What are your expectations for this season?
Top four in the trophy. FA Cup, League Cup.
Jeez, you sound like us.
No. Because realistically,
That's crazy to hear. Go on.
Because unless we have a great end to this window, which I don't know how that's going to look, is realistically we have to pick a trophy up. Which, if you look at Klopp's time, he's never targeted the FA Cup or the League Cup.
That's true. He never has.
I think this is the time, and I think this is
Definitely.
the season.
Do you not give the manager and the team a blight if they don't pick a trophy up? Because don't get me wrong, I'm gonna troll you if you.
Oh
don't.
yeah.
But if you don't,
100%.
do you kind of not give them a whole blight for it?
This I'm sat now with the two guys. When I went on Sarcasm City a number of years ago, that tried telling me if Klopp doesn't win anything to sack him that point. And look where we are.
Trolling, isn't it?
That being said,
100% he gets a blind.
Yeah, of course, sacking Klopp would be criminal. Like, because he has been handicapped by the board. 100%. You would not, like, yes, we are going to run jokes and things like nature on social media because
it's just mute on Twitter.
Funny.
Like...
But the thing is, it's like, no, to sack Klopp, it's like, who do you go and get to replace him? Nobody does the job what he's done. I say this all the time, and Klopp makes Ollie look worse because if you look at the team that he had that won the Premier League and the Champions League in back-to-back seasons, that's not a Premier League winning squad. No, it's not. The 11 is yes. But look at the squad. No, it's not. Like, look at the midfield. There's no creativity in that midfield whatsoever. People complain at zero. It's like JV said, salute to JV. It's the devil midfield. It's 666. There's just a bunch of sixes in there. You just spoke about Firmino. You have a non-goal scoring striker and still manage to pick up a major trophy. We United have all the attacking talent in the world, but people will tell you we still need more. We still need a right winger. Like, utilize what you have, and Klopp did that exceptionally. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He actually deserves credit for that, because there's that old adage where it's like you need a striker that's going to score you at least 20 goals in the season.
And they didn't have one that scores 10.
Yeah, that's
and they still, and the thing is, they still competed again for the Premier League the season before they won it. The season they won the Champions League, they still chased down one of the best Premier League sides of recent times and pushed them right to the wire. And it's a point. Yes, they lost. If he had more, maybe Klopp wins that league.
If they didn't go the distance in the Champions League.
Maybe, yeah. This is what you're saying. So this is why you have to give Klopp full credit, because again, he's utilizing fully what he has. Because I heard that he didn't actually want Mane and Salah. Like, they weren't his first options.
No, they weren't. One of them was Leon Bailey, and the other one was what is he called? I'll come back to it. I'll remember.
Villa get Bailey, and they're just
what a signing that is, by the way.
Because I watched him. I'd heard a lot about him. I'd watched him in the Gold Cup, and he wasn't the best in the Gold, but you can see why there's a hype around him.
What is that? Just unopposed, like, it's
yeah, that's what it is. And Johan says it here, flawless. Don't forget, Liverpool had a better defensive record than us with their 5th and 7th choice centre backs. That's my point. Is Klopp still utilized what he had?
Yeah, that's crazy.
He still utilized, and that's what good managers do. Yeah, 100%. And we're gonna get onto that.
It's like two sixes in the midfield. You're just inviting people to come at you.
And how you got 2 6s in midfield and still not defensively solid? United play 2 6s with a flat back 4. I'd be like, you know what? At least the 2 6s makes you defensively solid, but it takes away from you going forward.
But the season before, we had one of the best defensive records in the season without 2 6s.
Yeah, with us, like, you were only like 3 goals behind us.
Yeah, I think it was the second best.
And you had Van Dijk and Alisson who had been added to your team.
But this is why I went mad at United fans, because I was just like, no, wait a minute. If you look at the season when we won the league, you lost less games than Manchester City. Your problem was you drew too many games because of Solskjaer's pragmatic style, and he didn't go for it at times where you needed to go for it.
Yeah, extremely pragmatic. Yes, extremely.
You're preaching to the choir, bro.
Yeah, it's like you look at last season, exactly the same thing, and I said it time and time again. When you go away to Anfield, and your front three is firing the way that it is, and you survive the first 30 minutes to 45 minutes at Anfield, and you look and you see Fabinho and Henderson at centre-back, you go for that game, you take our record away from us, our home record. Imagine what psychological effect that has on us. 100%. Imagine the psychological boost it has for you.
100%.
And then you're 6 or 3 points behind City at that point. Yeah. That race is on.
There are the nuances of people that actually watch the games, or like Solskjaer gets away with it because people are like, oh, it's at Anfield.
So it's a good result.
No, because he took Bruno off.
When you actually watch the game and look at the nuances, it's like, no, that's not a good result.
It's not a good point.
No, it's not.
Not when the 6 teams after you go there and win.
No, it's not, because here's the thing which was mad, right? And you should remember this. He played Pogba wide right.
Yeah.
But what Pogba was doing was, and this is how Robertson. No, it wasn't that. This is how smart Pogba is as a footballer. He realized 10 minutes in, I'm not impacting the game out here. I'm just stopping Robertson going that way. So what I need to do is when we've got the ball, I'm just going to go drift inside. Robertson goes with him. Then Wan-Bissaka's on the overlap.
Yeah.
How many times did you find Wan-Bissaka in the second half? Because Pogba would drift inside, and then that meant Thiago was like, who's picking him up? Wijnaldum didn't have a clue who was picking him up. And then the one thing which teams struggle to do at Anfield is you were breaking through the lines with ease.
Yeah.
Bang, straight into Pogba's feet, straight into Fernandes' feet. And then on the half turn, and it's like, then you get Rashford on the run. The second you see Fernandes on the half turn, you tell both of you wide players in behind, go. Because he'll find you. The game was there to be won.
Of course.
You let Burnley go there the week after and take the record you should have took.
Facts. And then 5 teams
It doesn't make any sense.
The majority don't have Chelsea. Yes, Chelsea and City both won there, but Burnley won there. Who else? Fulham won there. Brighton won there.
No, Fulham drew.
Was it Fulham?
It's still terrible. It's still terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the fact is,
it was Burnley, Brighton. There was
Chelsea, Liverpool, and there's 2 others. But my point is, they're teams who don't have what Manchester United have,
and that's my point.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if he'd have gone for it, imagine what that could have done to the race. That shifts the whole momentum.
Psychologically, yes, it does.
That shifts the whole momentum into United's favour.
That's one of when you watch Premier League.
145 minutes.
Yeah, when you watch Premier League years back, and then the certain results that they point to in the season, and they say that's the turning point. Like we've seen it many a time. For those that don't know, Premier League years is a show they used to show on Sky where they show the Premier League season from start to end. And what happened, whether it was Manchester United winning or losing, there'll be certain games United drew or lost, and it'd be like, that's where we lost the league.
I can point to them games. You understand how many times I watch Premier League years and watch this swing and thinking United are always winning this. That's the game that they lost it.
100%. There's certain points we got at Anfield where it was a draw, and it's like that was a turning point in the season.
Yeah, because
I think Hernandez scored a late goal there one time. I think that was a turning point in that season.
It was
Tevez scored one in 08.
2002, where John O'Shea next to win him in the last minute. That was a turning point.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's like, but that's what that could have been the turning point. It's like go for it.
We have a pragmatic manager.
Yeah, and we will get into that, people. He does get away with murder.
Who's your favourites?
So yeah, that's what we're going to get into. Just one last thing, because Sonny asked a good question. He said, do you think it's the last season for Klopp at Liverpool? If they don't back him, which is looking like they're not, and Liverpool don't have a good season, he might look at it and go, why am I staying here when I'm fighting with one hand tied behind my back because of the board?
I think
maybe. When you say last season, you think he'd walk?
They're asking. Well, he asked whether it'd walk or sack, whichever. I just don't think they'll sack him.
They could never sack him.
I don't think they'll sack him, but he might decide to walk. Is what I'm saying.
Where would you go?
You might take a break. You might just decide to take a break and see what comes up. We know how quick the world of football changes. This is why we're here talking about Messi going to PSG.
True.
So that's what I would say to that.
He gets obliged, so we'll see.
I'm just saying he might walk simply because he's a very competitive man and he's had enough. And it's like, you're not helping me. You's not like you can go to the board and go, you haven't backed me fully while I've been here, and I've still delivered the 2 biggest trophies. Yeah. So imagine what I could do if you backed me fully. I'm not even asking for 200 and 300 million. Like he's not even asking for that. Just back up what I have. Like we've lost Wijnaldum, no replacement. We clearly need a striker, no 9. Like, what is going on?
About to get rid of Shaqiri, no replacement.
No replacement, and there's no talks of any replacements. That's the problem.
Is that deflection?
Oh yeah, we'll go on to because Stroll's watching the Liverpool. Who you lot playing?
Was that a deflection or did he genuinely chip him?
No, it was a bit of deflection, but the touch before it on the outside of it, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, favourites for me.
All right, go into it, because obviously they're out of 2. You're talking Chelsea or City. So who are your favourites?
Chelsea signing Lukaku is a major problem.
100%.
You know personally how I feel about Lukaku.
Talk about it.
I'm about to run agendas on him this whole season. He's a donkey now and he's got a terrible first touch.
See, that was it. I was trying to figure out which, because you're not a big fan of him.
Yeah,
well, you are.
Yeah,
we've been arguing about Lukaku since he was at Everton.
I thought
like his second season.
When he was at Everton, so we're talking way before he was at United.
No, I remember, but I was trying to figure out. One if you don't like him.
No. I rate him. I just don't rate him as highly as Tox. That being said, I think he is. I agree with Tox in him going there now makes Chelsea the favourites for the league title. To me, they're the favourites. To me, yes.
Over City,
yes, favourites for me.
They're the favourites to
City
me.
have no striker right now. They're definitely going to sign a striker, but even with them signing a striker, I've got Chelsea.
I don't think that striker's Harry Kane either.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to sign him. No, it doesn't look that way.
The reason why I say that is because when you look at Chelsea, I mean, we're just talking about the whole momentum shift. Tuchel's gone in there and won the Champions League without his side. So he's still implementing what he wants from the players he has there. Now you've added a goal scorer to that. And yes, Lukaku has his limitations, but I say this all the time about him. If you play
to his strengths.
you play to his strengths,
I
and
wish
his
they
strengths
will do.
is because I think
he doesn't need to drop deep into the 10. That
Play
was
him in the
my
2.
major issue with him at United. Why is he always dropping deep? He's
Yeah.
someone that wants to get in behind.
Because
We've always got him in the 10 because we have no 10.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is before Bruno and whatnot. So he's always dropping deep in the 10 and trying to.
Fred
No,
and play. And the thing is,
I hate it.
I think Tuchel's smart enough to do is I say this all the time. If you play Lukaku in the 2, that's where you'll get the best out of him.
And
Yeah.
here-
Play
yeah,
him in the, we've seen it in the Euros when his best game was when he was having a poor game. I can't remember who it was against in the group stages. And then he changed it and he played him as a split striker and he got one of the assists. He spanned somebody. He ran past someone. I say this all the time. Lukaku in the 2, because when he has someone else to do the stuff that he's not good at, is incredible. And I think Tuchel is smart enough to do that. So whether it's Werner, whether it's a Havertz, whether it's a Mount, whoever else.
Here's the thing. You look at Chelsea. You look at Belgium, for an example. Belgium played a 3 at the back. Wing backs. They'll play 2. Tillemans and Witsel, and they'll play De Bruyne in the 10. Chelsea can do that.
Yeah.
Play Havertz in the 10. Play Werner and Fingy, because Werner at Leipzig played as a 2 at times with Poulsen.
Right.
And I think you get, and that's a valid point. I think you get a better Werner in the 2 as
I
well.
was just about to say that.
That's a very valid point.
And this is what I've never understood about United when they had Lukaku. Look at him at West Brom, play to his strengths, unplayable at times. Everton, Baines, play to his strengths, unplayable at times. He went to United, I'm thinking, I seen him destroy Liverpool on Coutinho's debut. He came on for 20 minutes and scored 2, and he was unplayable. He was just this animal. You just couldn't get him off the ball.
Yeah.
And I thought, great. United have got another one here. And then it just didn't. It's like when we got Andy Carroll and we refused to cross the ball.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I hated his time at United because I watched him a lot when he was at
I felt
Everton.
sorry for him.
And to watch him play at Everton, and then obviously you're gonna play different because you know it's Everton and United. But to watch how he was made to play at United, it broke my heart honestly, because it's like he is a world-class talent for me, and he produces, but you have to play to his strengths. Like you have to play to anybody's strengths, and we was playing to all his weaknesses.
Yeah, we was playing to all
We
his
was playing
weaknesses.
to every single weakness he had, and yeah.
And that's why I think Tuchel's smart enough to get the most out of him. But like I said, we're not going to see him up top by himself or see him it'll be a 3-4-3. It'll be a 3-4, a 3-5-2 or 4-2-2-2 or something along those lines. I think Tuchel's smart enough to get the most out of him. And that's why I've said this. I think he could. I said in the comments, I think he could be the difference maker. That being said, I'm not saying City can't compete. What I'm saying is, again, we all know how hard it is to defend league titles. Like us, we've seen Liverpool fail like that. We've seen City fail like that at times. We've seen United fail in the past. City are now the mark team. Adding on £100 million Grealish, you're now even more of a mark team. The pressure's now on you.
Yeah.
And they could have one eye on the Champions League as well. And we don't know what they're going to do in terms of, because people are talking about a number 9. I said this. If City won the Premier League without a striker, and that was Pep's. That was one of Pep's best City sides defensively. So he might look at it and go, you know what? We actually don't need a 9. He might look at it that way and go, we don't. Because City don't need a 9 necessarily to win the Premier League because they just won the league without one. Yeah. So they don't need. It's not imperative. Yes, to add Harry Kane to it would be nice, but City might look at it and go, all right, let's just wait for Haaland next season.
I think you don't even need a Kane. Like you just.
I don't think Kane. I've said this. Kane's better for City. Kane's better for City. Are better for Kane than Kane is for City.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's in, like, I'm looking at it like, for Kane, that's the move. For City, I'm looking at it like, would I go and sign Harry Kane? All right, you know he's going to score a whole load of goals, but City are going to anyway. A lack of goals hasn't been an issue. Their problem is the Champions League. Is Kane, I say this all the time, is Harry Kane the player to take City over the top in the Champions League? I am not sure.
Nope.
I am not sure. I'm not saying he is or he isn't. What I'm saying is that's not an answer. That's not a question I can respond to with confidence and say, yes, he is. If City were chasing the Champions League, I'd say, chasing the Premier League, that's different. If City were chasing the Champions League and Liverpool had won it last year, I'd say, you know what? Or United had won it last year, Kane's the go-to guy. But I don't know if Kane's the go-to guy for that. And that's what it is with City. But Grealish is a phenomenal signing for them, yes.
To me, it doesn't even look like they are that much into Harry Kane. Like, it doesn't look like they're absolutely going all out to sign him.
Yes, I know what he's saying.
And I can see, I understand why. To me, he's not a City player. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I feel like there's so many better players out there that match them. I think he makes them as a unit a poorer team.
Because the unit makes
I
them
do.
a poorer team.
I do. I think he hinders him.
Genuinely.
Because if you look at the way Tottenham function, everything is centered around Harry Kane.
Yeah.
When you've got a Manchester City team full of Foden, De Bruyne, Grealish, Cancelo, Gundogan, there's too many pieces of the pie, and there's too many. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no way you can be as. Not everything will evolve around Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Whereas he comes in now, he will expect everything to be in and around him. He'll expect everything to be about him, and it's not going to work like that.
Yeah.
Pep's teams don't work like that. That's why Etu struggled with Pep's teams. That's why Henry didn't bode well with Pep's team, and he didn't last that long.
That's a great point.
Same with Ronaldinho. There's a reason, because everything was evolved around them. And even when you look at Messi during Pep's early years, you had David Villa, who was scoring in Pedro, who was scoring. Not everything was rolled around Messi.
Yeah.
So it's like you look at Kane in that system, and you're like, I just think he hinders him. I just think that he expects everything. Everything has to go through him, and I think that will become, for defenders, very easy to read.
Yeah, what's going to happen is if he joins them, they either have to change their system to suit him, and it makes them a poorer outfit, or they keep playing the way they're playing, which I assume Pep will, and the game passes him by.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
He's not as influential as he is at Spurs. Like you said, I get what you man is both saying
because
in regards to him being the main man.
It
makes sense.
If you look at Kane playing the way he's playing now, he's coming deep, spraying passes. But then when he does that with England, that's fine, because you've got Sterling and someone else to go onto it. When you do that with City, realistically, Sterling's not been playing that much. You've got Grealish now, Foden, who isn't as quick as Sterling, De Bruyne, who's going to be the number 9 that goes in behind.
Yeah, it depends. You know what it is?
Tottenham, he's got Son.
Yeah, a lot of these question marks are on how Pep wants to play. Does he continue to play with the false 9, or does he want a focal point? Because we've seen him do both. We've seen him be successful with a number 9, Aguero, for example.
I think he can play De Bruyne in the false 9.
This is what I'm saying, is he has options. He might go revert back to type this season and play De Bruyne in the false 9, or Foden, or Mahrez, or whoever. He has options. The thing is, we don't know what Pep wants to do, because Pep might look at it and go, like I said, I was very successful with this team with a false 9. It makes the team more unpredictable and harder to play against. Let me stay with this. And I've added Grealish to it. You can also play a false 9 and win the Premier League. Or he might look at it and go, Pep might say, I need a 9 to win the Champions League. We don't know his thoughts. He might say that.
I think we've seen his thoughts play out. And that was the Grealish signing.
Yeah, so do I.
So you don't reckon it's both?
I genuinely feel like it was either or.
Yeah, so do I.
You reckon it was either or?
I feel like he made his decision. Now, he could sign Kane within the next couple weeks, and I could be wrong, but I feel like we seeing it play out what he intends to do.
I agree.
Okay, no, that's interesting. Well, let us know in the comments your thoughts as well, people. Like in regards to, was it either or with Kane or Grealish? Because I could still see him going and getting a 9, even if it's not a Kane. Because I think there's better fits. I think there's better 9 fits than Harry Kane. 1,000%. That doesn't mean he wouldn't be successful there, because he scored so many goals there, and they could win the Premier League and the Champions League. Right? That's not what I'm disputing, because they could do that without him. So adding a player the caliber of Harry Kane to your team is could only help that. Is what
this might sound stupid, but if they sign Harry Kane, I'm less worried about City this season.
I get your point.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I am a lot less worried about City.
The reason why that makes sense, because I get your point with that, like 100% in regards to.
Do you remember the conversation we had last summer in terms of Liverpool making certain signings, and if it disrupts the midfield three, how from a structure point of view it makes us weaker? I think that does that to City with Harry Kane.
It could. Again, it depends on how he implements it, because if he signs Harry Kane and plays him false 9-esque, that's dangerous, because Kane has all the attributes to fit into that.
No,
so it depends on what. It depends on
who's.
Depends who's why.
Because the reason why Liverpool's false 9 works so well is because Mane and Salah make introverted runs in between the fullbacks. So Firmino comes out to draw the space, and then them two make the runs into the space just to dumb it down. That's exactly what happened. You look at City, you've got, unless they play Sterling, which Pep, you can see he's starting to drift away from Sterling in terms of he's not really a big fan of him. He proved that last season. Mahrez hasn't got the pace for that. Foden hasn't got the pace for that. Grealish hasn't got the pace for that. And neither's De Bruyne. So I genuinely think with the Grealish signing, he'll play De Bruyne as a false 9.
Which could be. That's the thing is he has options.
No,
'cause
he
it's
has
Pep.
options, but
you know what
I just
Pep
think
could
the
do?
Grealish signing's telling.
Yeah, he could just decide to switch up the whole thing and go again. Like, this is Pep. We know what he's
yeah,
like.
yeah.
There's so many options that he has in regards to if they sign Kane or not, how he decides to play.
Yeah, I
Does he
agree.
play with the 9?
Yeah.
Because he might want to get it with Sterling. I think Sterling plays better with the actual 9 rather than the false 9. This is why we've seen him fall off last season, because he's better with a 9. It suits his game
Yeah, I
better
agree.
further down to a T. So he might decide to go with both. He might say, you know what, let me sign Harry Kane. Sometimes I want a 9 because we've seen him be extremely successful with a number 9 when Aguero was playing. I look at the numbers Aguero was putting up, etc. Yes, Aguero had to adapt to how Pep wants, and Kane will have to do that. But so will Grealish as well. We know that Pep is a drill sergeant, so he's going to want to. And yeah, Ethan said it there, City are favourites without a 9. They are the 2 favourites. If someone sat and told me and was like, City are the favourites for the league title, I wouldn't argue you down. To me, it's between City and Chelsea. I do edge it to Chelsea simply because of the signing of Lukaku and what Tuchel's done. And I just think he's a very intelligent manager. And they'll get even more out of that squad. Like, they fully bought in. Whereas I City hungry enough to go in. I think they have one eye on the Champions League. I think the Champions League is their number 1 goal. Because they've won the Premier League. The majority of the players there have won the Premier League. That's the black mark on Pep's record now.
So here's a question. We'll go side to side.
You're going
Who's your top 4?
City, Chelsea, Liverpool, United. That's not in order, by the way, but yes, that's my top 4.
In order, Chelsea, City, United, Leicester.
That was yours. Mine wasn't in order, by the way.
Yeah, mine's not in order. I think Liverpool, City, Chelsea, United.
Mine's about right. So we've all got 4. Well, adding Leicester, we've all got 5 out of the same 4. So that's everyone's top 5. Then I'm guessing. Talks, you have Liverpool 5th.
Yeah, they're
Everyone's
just gonna miss out top 4.
And I think that's pretty much everybody's. So on to some have said, obviously, Strong mentioned it, Manchester United's window, and we have had a great window without the DM, Varane coming in, Sancho coming in. I spoke on it ample times, and we know the deficiencies and the problem Manchester United have, and that's why Tox is smiling already as our manager. I would be extremely gassed for the season coming up if we had a manager I believe was competent and good enough to finish above Klopp, Tuchel, and Pep. But I don't think we have. Do we have the squad to compete with their teams? Yes, I believe so. We do. But we know what his manager's like. I say the same thing all the time. We see his deficiency. The Europa League game is a prime. If you want to know why I'm Ollie out so much, people, just watch the Europa League game. And that's all his deficiencies and all the mistakes he makes.
That's always
throughout
the
the
game
season.
I quote when I'm arguing with people that are pro Ollie. I'd literally just
That's
that
the game.
just says it all.
Because it's his in-game management again.
And it's awful. I'm not even asking for miracles. Like I said, I'm not saying, I say it all the time, I'm not even talking about Ollie winning the Premier League or
just
Champions
do the
League.
job you paid for.
I'm not even talking about winning. I'm talking about being in the competition. Just compete because you're good enough to compete. This is why United were top of the league last season. And there's a reason for that.
God.
You're not top of the league at the time we was top of the league by accident. So there's clearly something within the squad. And now it's been improved upon further. Defensively, it's now been improved upon.
Yeah.
Sancho's now been, your first 11 has now been improved upon. Therefore, your bench is now better.
He gets away with it because we have this myth that the United squad player for player isn't good enough.
Yes.
And I feel like we've been good enough for a long time to do better than what we've been doing.
You've been good enough for the past 3 years. Realistically, you've been good enough for the past 3 years.
It's always been hindered by management decisions. Even when Jose was in, Jose wasn't playing the settings up the right way to get the best out of the players. He brought Lukaku in and played him wrong. I never understood it. You brought Lukaku in, like
you're fully aware.
You are Jose Mourinho, like that is your bread and Lukaku is your bread and butter, and you played it the wrong way.
Drogba, you have the pieces of the puzzle. If you go back and watch game tape of Drogba, how to utilize a number 9 like that. You just watch Drogba.
And he set us up the wrong way. So then Ollie came in and he's been doing the same thing. So we have this myth amongst United supporters that the squad's not good enough. This season, you can't say anything.
Yeah, there's no he's not been backed. All of this type of stuff.
He's been backed.
And like you said, you said it right there at the very top. You said we've had players to compete. You're not even talking about winning either. But again, people act like we're wrong for wanting to even a team can be better than you and have a better manager and you can still compete with.
Yeah, easily.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like the Liverpool team that lost the league title to City, City's squad was better than Liverpool's, but Klopp still competed and pushed them all the way to the wire.
Yeah, whereas we finished second and we never felt at any point that it was a title.
It was never a title race.
At any
you were
point.
never in that bout.
Yeah,
you might have been in the ring like on the scorecards and like you're in the bubble. And never at one point did I think we were ever going to finish top. How many times did I say on every show I was on here, I'm going to enjoy being top of the league because I know when the wheels fall off, it's gonna be a big car accident.
And that's not being pessimistic, people, because I enjoyed being at the top while we was at the top. I was running banter and everything,
Yeah,
but
of course.
I never
Running banter, of course.
Honestly, social media at that point was the worst. Every single day I'd wake up, hello to everyone that seems top of the league.
Yeah, man. I was setting up tweets. I was scheduling tweets when I was asleep.
I know you was.
I was scheduling. I'm not up at 9 in the morning.
No, I knew that.
I'm scheduling
I swear, on my life, I woke up at 8:30. I see a tweet from Florida saying, Good morning to everyone seeing top of the league. I looked at the time and went, he scheduled this.
But
There's not a chance he's
that's
up.
how you know United fans actually knew it wasn't a title race, or because we're all just making the most of it while we're here. Like everybody's running bands. It wasn't a serious thing. We know like we're not gonna be here for long, so let's just make the most of it while we're here.
I don't think I've took you two off mute since. I'll be honest.
Never in my that entire time that's why we're running bands. Yeah. We were top of the league legit. And I didn't believe we could win the league. That's why I'm running jokes. People were singing 21 and 21. I'm like, when it all goes wrong, I'm here for you. I said that to every United fan. Or can we win the league? Like, love to Saeed again, because me and him did many videos during that period. And he was like, do you reckon we can win the league? And I'm like, why are you asking me questions you know I know the answer to? Like, no, we can't. We're incapable. And that still added on, even with the great window we've had. Manchester United have had one of the best windows in the country. We've signed Varane. He's a massive improvement on what we have.
Here's the thing.
He's a very good partner for Maguire, because we know Maguire's biggest weakness is pace. Now you put pace next to him. You've signed Sancho, who fits that right wing spot, and you don't, because he's English, you don't have to worry about him settling in or getting used to the country or anything of that nature. And there's already Rashford there, there's already Lingard there, there's the England boys that he's sure Maguire, he already knows.
Let me say something that United fans argue with me on.
Yeah, go on.
If we don't sign a defensive midfielder, this window's been a failure. Yes, we signed Varane. Fantastic. That came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Sancho has been in the works since last season, maybe even prior to last season. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily count Sancho as that was kind of like you just needed to sign and correct a few things, but like that was last season's work on however long you've been working on it before then. Mm-hmm. I only see this window as we've signed Varane.
I'd seen you tweet that, and that is a very interesting way of looking at it. If we go into
the season with just those two players signed, this has been a failure of a window. To me, we've only signed one player.
I get your point to what you're saying.
Once again, this is a weird show. I've landed in some parallel universe. Like, I'm agreeing with Tops. Like, I actually fully I understand where he's coming from.
I'm just not up for being duped by the Glazers, and it happens a lot.
Yeah.
It happens a lot at crucial moments. The Glazers will dupe you. Yeah. And I feel like that's what's happening right now. We're all celebrating Sancho and we're relieved it's finally got over the line. But this is last season signing. We should have signed him last season. I understand why you didn't. But all the groundwork was laid last season. He already made his arrangement with Dortmund to allow him to leave this season. So all the groundwork was done last season. That's last season signing.
I get what you're saying to the point. And the thing is, because Johan said it there, I'd rather a DM than Sancho, bro. And again, this is what the Glazers have done, is duping us. United needed free position filled. Why is it 2 out of 3? Why is it one or the other?
That happens every window. We always go in and say we need this, this, and this, and we only get this and this. Yeah, we never get what else we ask for. Yeah. We never complete the assignment.
Yes. And it's like
any time
complete the assignment. Everyone knows we needed a centre back. Let's not mistake that. We needed a centre back. We needed a right winger. We needed a holding midfielder. We got 2 out of 3 of those, which is great because the 2 out of 3 that we got, fantastic signings. I'm very happy. But we still need a DM. Same way I'd be sat here if United had signed, let's just use an Ndidi, for example, Ndidi and Varane. I'd still be like, yes, we still need to go get a right winger. Or if we just signed Sancho and a DM, I'd be saying we still need a centre back. United need all the assistance. Why else is that happening? Like Chelsea needed a striker. They went and signed a striker. If Chelsea needed something else, they'd go and sign that. We've seen City
everything they needed last season, and they went and got every piece of the puzzle.
It
turns out their striker didn't work out in terms of Werner. So, all right, let's go get that piece of the puzzle then. But we're watching teams get every piece of the puzzle. City do it every season. Why can we only get drips and drabs?
Yeah, we can only.
Why can we not sign a defensive midfielder? If we sign a defensive midfielder, I will literally shut up. I will have nothing. And
I think we're all sure if we sign a DM because we're crying out for one, and everyone knows that competes our first 11 is then good enough to compete with any of 11 in the country.
I'm watching us in pre-season, and it's just pre-season, but I'm watching us trying to revitalize Matic, bring him back from the dead. And don't get me wrong, against Everton, he looked great in that first half.
Because he can do a job.
Because
he was having this discussion.
Games you can play him.
Yeah.
Like, for example, with the greatest respect, West Ham at home.
Yeah.
You can play him. You're not going to play him against City or Liverpool at home. West Ham at home.
Yeah.
Brentford at home.
Yeah.
Teams like that, you can play him. So I've got no issue with that. If I was United fan and I'm thinking, why are you playing Matic? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I'll never understand is, like, we know Liverpool fans can tell you what United need transfer-wise for the past 3 years.
Me and you have sat on this very show and discussed this in depth about what Manchester United need. Everybody can know we need a 6. This is a prime example. Everybody knows we need a 6.
Because lo and behold, let's say, touch wood, it never happened. Let's say you get Ndidi. You play Ndidi as the 6.
Yeah.
You play
Pogba and Bruno.
Fernando is the false 8s.
We're
the
eating.
2 8s.
We're eating.
And then imagine that.
Bro, we're eating.
Luke Shaw, with the form that he's in, by the way, right? Wan-Bissaka. I never, ever, and this is weird coming from, it's not weird from a Liverpool fan because I'm a football fan first and foremost. The hate Wan-Bissaka gets is absolutely beyond me. How this man was not selected out of the 4 right backs by Gareth Southgate is a disgrace. Kyle Walker.
Hey, this is Gareth Southgate that got to a Euro final, fam.
Tell me what Kyle Walker did in the summer or in the season that City won the title.
He had a good Euros. He justified it.
No. He had, during it, when he first got selected, he was warming the bench for Cancelo. Why are you selected? When you look at the stats, and I pulled the stats up on the show, so I was going mad. Wan-Bissaka is the best defensive right back in the world, statistically.
He gets stick for his attacking game. No one ever criticizes him defensively. Don't get me wrong, he goes to sleep at the back post every now and then.
But the reason why he gets so attacked about his attacking plays, because United have nothing on the right-hand side. Literally. Put Sancho with him now. What's the difference this season?
Yeah. And don't forget, he's going to have Varane on the left of him.
Well, this is
what will help him defensively.
This is one thing I wanted to touch upon with Varane, because I've watched Varane since he made the move to Real Madrid. Not only is that a game changer in terms of the experience in the dressing room, World Cup winner, what he's run, it gives a new lease of life to Pogba.
Yeah.
Martial.
Very smart.
Martial. But my only concern, my thing with Varane is, we've seen it. There will be a bedding in period where it will take him a bit of time to adapt to the Premier League. If I'm United fans, don't get on top of him, because he's going to need that bedding in period. Because when he comes good, Lord, he is one of the best centre backs I've seen in the past 10 years.
Easily,
he's that good.
Exactly what we need and what Maguire needs. I said this when I was last on. It's like, if you could draw a player that Maguire needs next to him, it's literally Varane.
Yeah.
And it is the pace element, definitely, because we know that's Maguire's biggest weakness, is the pace element.
Exactly. So then when Maguire goes tight to his man, and then someone like, for example, a Salah makes running behind, Varane can match that.
Yeah, and he's got a rapid pace.
Yeah, that's what
he's a quality side.
Wait. And then you look at the way that Liverpool won the title is when you lose the pace that we had at the back, our high line, like Liverpool can go, because I've watched Liverpool this pre-season and we've gone back to it. We'll go for 2 for 2 on the halfway line. Go on then, get past Van Dijk and go and see how that gets you. Because of the pace, United can do that now.
And
you can start being aggressive.
He actually wants to play that way as well. He wants to play with a high line to his credit.
Yeah,
let's hope so.
Let's see if he does it or not. But he does want to play.
Because if you know what the issue I have is, we play with a high line and then we get beat and then he reverts back to tight.
Yeah,
that's my concern.
His bum falls out very quickly
because he's scared to lose his job.
Yeah.
Whereas he needs to think like he's pessimistic. Yeah. He needs to be optimistic. We're going to get it wrong a couple of times. However, look what we can gain out of it. He's the other way around. And he shouldn't be like that, being the Manchester United manager.
Well, now with the signings, you've got no excuse. We just need to sign a 6. It needs to happen. It was coming out that he wanted to get Camavinga. That's all gone quiet. So I'm just like, are we done now? We're hearing more about Trippier.
Trippier, I wouldn't mind at that price. So you're talking 15 million for Trippier. I'm like, all right.
But like, he's like, everything needs to be concentrated on a 6 right now. I don't want anything other than a 6. You're wasting money. I would rather keep I would rather keep Delo because
I'm a fan of
Trippier's-
Delo.
You're not.
I like Delo. His
So
delivery.
do I.
I'm a fan of Delo.
So do I. He's not the greatest defensively.
But if you went to a 3 at the back, which you could do realistically now,
Yeah.
him as a right wing back is scary
Yeah, it fits.
because his delivery is.
He fits. He's
I've
got
said
the
on a
on
step
number of
point.
occasions. I'd put him on the right wing.
He's
I
an
said that
option.
on a number of occasions. I'd play him on the right wing.
He's better than
which
Dan
you
James
could
on the
do
right
because-
wing. He's better than Dan James on the right wing, without question.
Yeah.
Without question. Without
What
seeing
is-
him, I already know.
there's
But it's
talks
that bit of
Leeds going
bravery
back
that
in for
Solskjaer
Dan
doesn't have.
Say again,
There's
Stroke.
talk of Leeds going back in for Dan James.
They can have him.
Wait, now what?
I said they can have him.
That I don't want Dan James under Bielsa. Not
I
a
do.
chance.
Yeah.
No.
Dan James at Leeds is better than Dan James at Manchester United,
He would be a bit dangerous with his pace.
He would be.
which is cool.
He'd have,
With
space, he'd have the
Bielsa.
space to run into.
I just don't want him at Manchester United. So
I
let
don't
go
want him.
and flourish
I
elsewhere.
don't want him at Leeds.
He would have the space to run.
You lot are selling Shaqiri. Liverpool, there you go. You lot can have Dan James 15 mil.
I don't know. Absolutely not. Who would pay 15 mil for Dan James?
Manchester United.
You're in Man United.
Manchester
Yeah,
United.
literally.
That's United said, hold my beer. No, I'm very nice. Signed Dan James for 15 million. But we are going to assume that. But yes, a 6 is needed.
We need Camavinga.
But Camavinga's not even a 6, he's an 8.
He can play as a 6 though. He's young enough to like I said, he as an 8 going forward, his attributes are non-existent. He can carry the ball well.
If I was
He's-
United, I'd get Basuma.
He's not got a key pass in him. He's not got an assist in him. He's not got a goal in him. He only plays as an 8, so he can press high. So you can train him to play as a 6. He can play as a 6.
You could
Yeah,
get
I just
Basuma
don't
for
trust
cheap.
Ollie and the coaches to have to train anybody to do anything. That's the problem.
Oh, I
In
seen
the
it.
ideal world, yes.
It might have
you
been
bring
you
in
that put it
a-
up. I seen the best meme the other day. I swear it might have been you, where it's basically a picture of Solskjaer's face. It's like, imagine Solskjaer telling Varane what to do.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, I knew it was. I
was
seen
before
that
we
and I was
signed him.
laughing. I was like, wow.
That's what I'm saying.
I genuinely feel
I
that
trust
way.
these
It's
man. Like, we need
what
players-
Can you tell Varane?
We need players to come in who can do a job now. Like Varane's coming in to play centre back now. He doesn't need instructions like that. Sancho's coming in to play right wing. He doesn't need instructions like
But
that.
this is
We are
So-
individual brilliance FC. That's what I'm saying. We just need to add as much individual brilliance as possible.
but-
And hopefully we land on a
but
trophy.
this is my point. You could use Dan James to Brighton and get Basuma.
Yeah, 100%.
20 million, there's Dan James.
Basuma fits.
They
the
would
bill.
they would snap your hand off immediately.
That's
There's
how
no
many-
one in for Basuma.
It's crazy.
We were, and I stopped. Well, apparently, we still are looking at him.
Is that money thing?
He's the obvious replacement for Wijnaldum that I've seen, apart from Tillemans.
There isn't a top team if you look at and go, where does he not get in? Maybe Chelsea in terms of the squad. Like he get in the squad, but I'm saying first, even City
Yeah,
because
he's not getting in the first team.
Fernandinho's agent. You go, all right, Basuma as a replacement.
I
for him.
rate Basuma over Rodri. I don't understand.
Yeah,
Rodri
no,
hype
that's my
at all.
that's my point. Is that what Tox was saying in terms of no one's looking at Basuma, like how Arsenal went to Brighton and signed Ben White and bypassed Basuma is Basuma is mind-boggling. How serious? How Arsenal went to Brighton and went, let's go and get Ben White and just bypass Basuma,
You
who
got
would have been
50
cheaper.
M's to spend.
50 M's
and
and
you
Basuma would
bypass-
have been cheaper.
That's wild.
He wouldn't cost 50 M's.
No, you see, I rate Ben White not for 50 million.
I'm saying,
Never.
yeah, we know he's not good.
I seen Ben White at Leeds, and that kid's got mad potential. 50 million is daylight robbery. Like,
There you go, innit? That's also,
It-
and you
it-
rate him and you don't think
it's-
he's worth
it's
50
just-
mil.
how
you're
much?
saying
How
it's
much did you man get Varane for?
Yeah, Varane was like
What
40. I think.
what we doing
This is
here?
like
Yeah, what are we
38 or
doing?
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. What are we doing?
So you man are like vibes FC. Arsenal are overpriced FC.
Yeah.
Like they 72 million for Pepe. In what world?
Wild.
72
He's
million
still not
pounds.
paid that back.
For 72 million, we got Salah and Mane.
yeah. That, when you
What
put it-
planet are
when you
they
put it
on?
that-
Still not paid that
Yeah,
back.
like we signed Sancho for like around that price, which is crazy. Someone who's impacted Champions League games for Dortmund, like set up 40% of Haaland's goals type of thing.
That's
What,
wild.
what did Pepe do? Stand out in French league.
He did, yeah.
That's
yeah,
all he's
good
done
numbers.
today.
Yeah. And then he scored a few goals
Yeah,
against
yeah,
West
some
Brom and
free
all them
kick
type
here
of
and
things.
Because
yeah.
he kicked the ball past Van Dijk and ran past him.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
suddenly he's a golden boy.
Yeah.
Watch, he
It's
can
only
kick the ball
Arsenal
on
that
goal.
feel that way about him. Like everyone else is just like, what's
Because he's terrible. Like,
no.
what planet? 72 million pounds.
See, even Sasha said it, if it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. Like, that's the facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you look, because the thing is, Basuma fits what Arsenal need.
Listen, if I was United, right, and I know you're gonna love where I'm going with this.
Well,
If I was United, I'd just go Van Persie vibes. Partey, come here. Imagine what like,
I wanted him before he went Arsenal. I wanted him, but I don't know if
They've
it's on
Arsenaled
him.
him, that's why. They've Arsenaled
They've
him.
Arsenaled him. Now I look at him different. I look at him different. He was the guy, you know this. I spoke on it in depth. He was the player I wanted.
I watched this man in
was incredible
midfield
against
at
Juve.
Anfield.
Incredible.
Boss that midfield like I've never
own.
seen.
Incredible. He was. I remember specifically.
And what was he? He's 38 mil.
Yeah.
That was his clause.
Something,
Yeah.
I think it was 38
Something
or 50 or
crazy
something
like
like
that.
Yeah, 38 mil, which
Ben White
euros.
price was around that.
Which
Yeah.
is
I think it was less than the Ben White price.
Nah, that's crazy.
I think it was about 38 mil.
38 mil.
Yeah. So it's just like,
For a player
yeah,
that
but
caliber.
like you said, they Arsenaled him because now he looks
Yeah,
shell.
Like you can't even stay fit. And it's like, what's going on? I don't remember. Maybe we'll have to ask Kendall about it. Atletico Madrid, because obviously that's the second team. Did he have injury problems when he was there? Because I don't remember it too much where he wasn't playing.
No.
But obviously more so that was Champions League games. That's what I would say.
Then again, no, if I was Partey, I'd fake injuries not to play for Arsenal as well.
See, Bram saying I watched the African nations, the African nation teams. He said Pepe doesn't even start for Ivory Coast.
That's
mad.
my point.
That is mad. I didn't know that. I legit didn't know that.
Don't Zaha play for Ivory
Because
Coast?
Zaha, yeah, Zaha
He's Zaha's bench boy.
Even Ahmad's been getting games.
Yeah, because he's played in the Olympics, of course.
Ahmad's been getting games for them.
And what we doing? It's like
Arsenal. All right, but since we're talking about them, let's go on to them. But someone mentioned it earlier. Obviously, they got no Europe, so you know the furthest they going in Europe this year is Burnley. Can that help them? Can that help them? That's a fact. You man laughing, yeah. That's a fact. No European trips, man. Them man ain't locked down still. You feel me? And that no trips to Europe for Arsenal. The furthest they're going is Burnley. Like, let's keep it real. It's Turf Moor. That's the furthest in Europe they're going. It's facts. So people have spoke about it. Can it help them?
Yeah,
The no Europe
us,
thing.
helps us.
Okay, but is Arteta and the Arsenal team good enough to take advantage of that? Yes, one game a week does help.
The reason why it helps us is we had Suarez, Sterling, Sturridge,
Yeah, you have-
Gerrard.
yeah.
Like, no, it's not.
Because
No,
even Aubameyang, I'm hearing, hasn't been good in preseason.
Yeah,
What's that
Arsenal fans are turning on him. They're turning on him. I've seen Arsenal fans turning
What
on
do you
him.
expect? You give this man the highest wage you've given any
They
player
are
in their
turning
history.
on him. And that's when it turned for him, when he got the contract.
But that's
He's
my
not
point.
been the same since the contract signing.
Because let's not forget, he tried to go. He
Yeah,
was talking about going
there.
Barcelona. He was talking about going to Inter Milan.
Which I understand.
He should have
I
left.
get it. Yeah, you should have left rather than take the big money.
You should have left, but
Yeah.
you took the money and you've done nothing since.
Mercenary. He packed it. He packed it in. And like, they're turning on him. He's a mercenary because he signed that contract. Knowing he wanted to leave, he signed the contract and he's done nothing of note since.
He has done nothing of note since. So can Arteta get a tune out of him? It's going to be very tough too.
No,
Who they signed? Because he signed Ben White.
Ben White.
Lakonga, is it? They've signed.
Yeah.
They're
And
talking about Madison.
Madison is talks. Is there anyone else like they've confirmed? I'm trying to remember.
To be fair, if they get Madison, that's a great signing. However, he would also get Arsenal.
Yeah, and it's like for him as well. It's
Ben
like,
White's been Arsenal. Did you see the clip from the other day?
I didn't. What happened?
Did you see the pass?
What happened?
Well, so right hand side of the box.
Mhm.
So there's the net. He's here.
Yeah.
He just plays this wayward pass across goal. It gets intercepted and he scored from it.
Arsenal.
And it
thing.
was just like, wow, like you've really been like you've been there 2 minutes. You've been Arsenal.
Their preseason's actually been common.
Yeah, it's been bants. It's been banned. I've seen
When does it end, Robbie?
When is it gonna end, right? Like that is a classic line. Like already, you know, I need to catch up with their preseason.
I seen one of the AFTV vids. I didn't watch it, but it was titled "We're in Trouble." This is preseason.
Watch later.
Oh god.
How is it?
Great.
We're in trouble already. You know what I'm saying? I seen a Troops video titled like that. It's like, yo, it's preseason. Why you not stressed already? The season ain't even started.
Because it's all the same problems that have been playing out last season. So you're just seeing it into the preseason. It's like, what is like? I get what they're saying, innit? But it's like people like Madison. It's like you're doing well at Leicester. What you just picked up the FA Cup.
Yeah,
Community Shield.
Why are you gonna go down?
Yeah, we need to ask questions of you if you decide to go to us.
Money though, like you said, it's the Aubameyang situation. If he does go,
Yeah, but like you're in a better team.
That's true, I agree.
Look, open your eyes and look at what's going on.
yeah, I would have
which
go Arsenal.
will finish in Europe. Arsenal ain't gonna finish in Europe.
Arsenal ain't even in Europe.
That's
Never
my-
mind finishing in Europe.
that's my
like,
point.
They're even in Europe.
And that's my
They
point.
might not even get back into Europe. Like that's
Yeah,
the thing.
it's not even
like-
guaranteed nailed on for them. They might make the Europa. What is it? The Super Conference thing. That's
Yeah, because I don't have them finishing any
wait
higher
a
than
minute.
7.
Wait. Have you seen the Conference League? Have you seen what happened?
now what happened in the Conference League.
I've not paid no attention to that, bro.
Right.
What
Right,
happened?
so Tottenham are in it now, aren't they?
Yeah.
You've got one stadium where you've got like for example, when you go to the kids' park, you got them trains that you go around. One of them goes round the pitch, Ruben Kazan had to draw their name and numbers on the back of the shirts for the Conference League the other day.
You had to do that?
Ruben Kazan players, I swear, right?
Tottenham are doing
Mad.
bad.
Let me get this up. I've
We'll
never
talk
seen
on
anything
Tottenham
like
as well. We'll talk about Tottenham.
What was you watching that on, by the way?
LSE TV.
Oh, something. Large up Lewis, who says Chelsea to win the Premier League. Christensen player of the season. Sancho flop of the season. Arsenal 11.
You sound like Lewis.
Yeah, no, that is Lewis.
Oh,
That's
it
what you
is
just
Lewis,
said. Yeah,
right,
it is.
okay.
That's what you just said. That's the Lewis just said. It's Lewis. That's what he just said.
Oh, that is banter. That's not right. That's not real.
No, that's real.
That's in the Tottenham game.
No, that was in the Conference
Oh, that's
League.
in. Oh my gosh.
They had to draw it on. Decent drawing, though. I give him that. You know what I'm saying?
That
But yeah.
was decent drawing.
Even
That's ridiculous.
That's decent drawing. That is awful.
yeah.
That is
That's a
awful.
bit, yeah, I didn't look at it up close.
Ladies, this is in a professional football game.
They don't
This is
care
what
about
we're
this
doing in the
conference
Conference
thing.
League. It's
And-
terrible.
And Sasha even said it here. 8th place is ambitious for Arsenal this season. If they finish 7th, though,
10th is ambitious for Arsenal.
When did they finish?
poor.
Yeah, they are poor because you got to think you got the
10th,
big.
I think they finished 10th. I think they'll finish below Leeds again.
I think they'll finish 7th.
I reckon 8th.
But 7th is a big jump. Bear in mind, it was borderline in a relegation battle. Like
Yeah.
Arsenal was
It
legitimately.
was legit. And that's why Lampard got
It
sacked.
wasn't even banter. Yeah, because
Yeah.
Lampard.
Lampard rejuvenated
Yeah,
him.
he messed
Because
up
I
the
remember that game where Xhaka played top bins and they were legit 5 points above the relegation zone. Had they lost, there was teams around them who had games in hand. It would have been 2 points.
I was looking
I
at the
remember
teams
running
around
jokes, yeah.
being like, wow, they win
Fuck,
here, they
we
win
had
here,
a
and
ball.
Arsenal are in the
Yeah,
ball.
we had a ball. I remember
we
like
had
talking
a
around Christmas, and I
ball.
was
Yeah, it
like,
was phenomenal.
I hope everyone's enjoyed, like putting out tweets. I hope everyone's enjoyed their Christmas. And if you're feeling bad because you've put on weight and you get me, there's left.
Like I was
Just
tagging
remember that
Arsenal.
Arsenal at 5 points currently up in 50,
Christmas.
5 points above the relegation zone. They was.
Nah,
I
it was
remember the
wild.
tweet.
I remember.
the tweet.
Nah, I remember tweeting Arsenal saying if you need a manager, shout me. And then you jumped on it. Prime jumped on it. Lewis Lewis was running jokes left, right, and center. It was
They was
beautiful.
legit like in a relegation zone. Like Big Sam was calling them out. Like, yeah, Arsenal are involved with this. Big Sam took over West Brom and was like, yeah.
We need to compete with Arsenal.
Yeah, we competed with Arsenal. Like Arsenal are now legit, and no disrespect, they're beefing with Aston Villa. Like that's now their ups. You know what I'm saying? Like Aston Villa, and they've had a better season than
No.
a better window. Sorry,
No.
they've had a better window.
No, they're beefing with like.
disrespect to Aston Villa.
Like,
Nah, but-
No, that's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. That you can't. Oh man.
Who are Arsenal's rivals? They are their mid-table rivals.
That is very disrespectful to Aston
That's
Villa.
what I'm saying.
You are being
That's what I'm
very
saying.
disrespectful.
Like,
right
I'm just
now.
saying, I've seen them beefing.
Oh, man.
like when Grealish left Villa, I seen Arsenal fans like
They
shout out
have
to
been
Babs.
beefing for
They've
a
been
while.
beefing it. I seen Babs tweet. That's why Tox is laughing. I seen
Yeah,
Babs
no, I seen
trolling
it.
Arsenal,
Yeah, but-
trolling Villa fans about
yeah,
it.
but it's like,
That's their-
like them Arsenal are punching up at that point. Like them man are beefing with Newcastle.
They are beefing. He's like, yeah, that
Like
is
them
their,
man are
their
beefing
level.
with Newcastle.
That is their level, yeah.
Like realistically, like they are beefing with Newcastle and them.
Alright, so-
Bro.
I don't
Why
know where
has
the
there been
Villa.
bare Arsenal
Someone in the
fans
comments let us know why.
going
Where the
back and forth with Villa fans?
hey, Lewis
Because
will know.
I've seen that hella
I've
times.
seen
Yo,
it
I
a
have,
lot
and
of
it's like
times.
it's wild. Like where's this come from?
That's where they falling to though, because they're competing for
But
places.
no, but they're not falling. Like come on, man. Like
No, I'm saying Arsenal falling off. You know what I'm
we
saying?
know that, but come on.
They're
like,
falling behind Villa, innit? So before they think about getting back to Liverpool, Chelsea's, your United, they gotta get above Villa in them.
Because
Look.
I've had Villa fans try to call out United, and it's like I don't even engage.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like, yo,
engaged,
you're a
you're
Villa
Villa.
fan, bro. Stop it,
Your
innit?
Villa.
Like, but Arsenal fans have been engaging with them.
like,
You know when it started, did they not try and take one of their players? Was it Nketiah? They
Nah, it
put
was
in
Smith
for?
Rowe. They went after
Smith
Smith
Rowe.
Rowe because they
Yeah.
needed. And
They
listen,
put, imagine they put in a bid, yeah, for your star boy, and they put in two. They rejected one. And they went- Them man putting two. Them man putting two bids, yo. Them man came up. Yo. Them man said that's where it started from. It's because them man tried to sign Smith Rowe, yo.
what's wrong with you? What's wrong with me?
That man put in a bid for Smith Rowe. Yo, Tox, that's where it started from, yo. It was Smith Rowe. It was Smith Rowe. That's where it started from, yo. Because I remember the tweets and people were like, right, imagine Villa tried to come in for your star boy. You get what I'm saying? Villa tried to sign your star boy. You know what I'm saying? The crowd, they went two bids. They was confident.
Oh man's got tears, yo. That is funny.
Yo, mate.
Oh my god, that is funny.
Them man wait 2 bits for your star boy, you know. That's your star boy. Imagine Villa trying to come sign Greenwood,
Man,
fam.
again,
That's
you
the
know, like,
equivalent.
this one's gonna
That's
get
the
it done.
equivalent.
Oh, that is funny.
That's like Villa trying to come in and sign Greenwood. You know what I'm saying? They weren't even dare the audacity to come in and try and sign Mason Greenwood. That man went for Smith Rowe.
Now it
2
makes
bits.
sense. Now
That's where it
makes
started
sense.
from.
Oh, that is
Because people were
funny.
trolling in it. Because it's like, right, they tried to come and take your star boy from your academy. You know what I'm saying? They really tried it.
Now it makes sense.
That's why they're beefing. You know? Because Villa are like, wow, we can take your best player. Villa are legit like, right, we can come in and take your best player.
Oh, that is comedy. Arsenal are great.
Yeah, Arsenal are great stuff, and the season's not even started. And they've got the documentary coming, not all for
can
nothing.
I just say, Amazon Prime, thank you so much. This is about to be the greatest TV series of entire time.
Yeah, it's gonna be the greatest comedy series.
I
The
want
greatest
to
comedy probably since Friday. 100%.
I want to see how this man
100%.
Oh,
coaches on the training field.
I've got a head.
Like genuinely, I want to see how he coaches on the training field. Like, have you seen their corners?
Wait,
by
that
the way?
talk's finished. He's not
Oh,
done
man,
yet.
I've
Yo.
got a headache, yo.
He's not
Man,
finished.
this is
Yo.
a headache, bro.
He's not finished.
You gotta give me- He's just gonna try and rip off Pep, yo. Like you can see it in it. Like he's just basically gonna mirror Pep.
But have you seen how we?
Bash up my mic. Yeah,
Nah,
go
nah,
on.
but have you seen how they defend corners? Every single one of them's in the box. I want to see that training session.
Yeah, of course.
I want him to justify why he's got so many men in that box.
Facts. Facts.
Like, I want to see this negative style on the coaching field. I can't wait for this. The amount of stuff that's going to come out in that documentary, changing room wise. I want to hear how Arteta talks to players. I want to see how Arteta talks to Aubameyang.
Yeah, you want to see what's going on?
Because if Aubameyang had the wage packet that he had under a Klopp, under a Fergie, under a Tuchel, under Pep, they'd be like, you ain't justifying
Yeah,
that.
he's one of them. Like when their next manager comes in, when Arteta gets sacked at some point, like it's a priority to get him out.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
what I'm
get
saying.
him off the wage budget.
Yeah, it's
like,
like-
that's one
it's
of
Ozil.
your first.
It's Ozil
orders.
2.0.
Yeah, it's like move
Yeah.
him out. Yeah, but that Ozil thing was so much of a mess to the point where like it was like civil war. You had some people in the dressing room which didn't like the way that it was handled in terms of because of Ozil's tweet and the fact that he was just left out. Some people were just like, well, it's football, just get on with it. And then them two were just clashing. So it's like, no wonder Arsenal are a mess.
Yeah, it's
Arsenal for you.
Oh, mate,
Arsenal.
this season,
That's what it
Arsenal
is.
are going to be great.
It's even-
Imagine if they lose to Brentford on Friday night.
Yeah, going to. Where is it at? Is it at the Emirates or is it at Brentford?
I think he might be at Brentford.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna lose.
Oh,
That's
imagine.
gonna be-
You already know.
Yeah, my Ivan Toney with a
Like you already know. Friday, and it's the
Brace.
Friday game as well. It's the Friday game, so you already know. Because even Prime said it here. Gal was beefing Villa fans because they wanted the crowd in the brand. It's because of the Smith Rowe thing. That's where it stemmed from. Prime also says AFTV better do a watch along for the duck. You know they're gonna do something in regards to the duck.
I can't-
100%.
I can't wait.
And Natalie says it. Arsenal rivals, Wolves, Newcastle. That's where they're at. But in terms of that, all jokes
Yes,
aside,
Wolves, Newcastle. That's what I was saying. I was trying to figure out the other teams. Wolves, Newcastle.
where do you see? So what the objective
Arsenal
for them?
finishing 10th. Arsenal
No.
finishing
But
10th.
what I'm saying, the objective for them is to get back into Europe, isn't it? Top
No,
7, you would
no,
say.
No,
What do you think their objective is then?
finish top 10.
Reckon top, but they finished 8th last season.
And where did it lead? They are legitimately in the top 10 race. Let's not get mistaken. Leeds are going
You are in
to
the top- yeah,
Leeds are going
yeah.
again.
Yeah, go on.
Aston Villa are going again. Look at the signings they've made.
So you
by the
got
way.
all right. So you got City, you got Chelsea, you got Liverpool, you got
United.
Leicester.
United.
Did I mention United?
Yeah.
All right. So United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City, Leicester,
Tottenham,
Tottenham,
Villa,
Leeds, Everton.
They are, and then
That's 9. I
That's
just
what I'm
named
saying.
9.
they're in a fight for top 10.
Wow.
They like
Yeah.
let's not get, they are in a fight for top 10.
Mhm.
I don't think they finish above Leeds. I don't think they finish above Villa.
Okay, your point. I don't think they finish above the 5.
And
top five. That's-
Everton's the dark horse, like
Mm.
Tok said, in terms of
We didn't even mention West Ham.
Benitez. There we go.
We didn't even
They
mention
are
West
in
Ham.
a fight for top 10.
West Ham had a very good season last season, so we didn't even mention West Ham.
They are legitimately beefing with Burnley, Newcastle, Wolves.
They are legit. All jokes aside, they are in a fight for top 10.
This
Like
is
I say, the
this is-
saving grace for them is
The
they
no
could have a good
Europe,
window and the no Europe. Yes.
but like all jokes aside, they are beefing for the top 10. Like
Yeah,
they are
they are
competing for
fighting
the top
for the
10.
top
So
10.
yeah,
100%. All right, let's go into it because we just mentioned West Ham. They was the dark horse last season in regards to where they finished in the league. How did they go again this season? What's your thoughts on them?
I think they finished 9th.
You think they finished 9th? What have they? I don't even know what they've done business wise. I can't think off the top of my head.
They've lost Lingard, which is massive.
Yeah, Lingard's a big hit for them.
Because
yes.
if you look at the impact Lingard had, it wasn't just on the pitch, it was the dressing room, the experience, the energy. Like, he brings a different energy, like, and you could see Antonio loved it. Declan Rice loved it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't think they've done much business, which isn't good for them. Like, you go into Europe,
you have a good season, you have to have a good season.
Because this was Burnley's problem when he went into Europe, is they didn't have a good window and they didn't rebuild the squad. Yeah, they didn't kick on. They just stayed stagnant. And I worry for West Ham. So I think West Ham finished 9th. I think Arsenal are in a fight for top 10 realistically. Villa are in a great place. Everton are the dark horses, like Tox said.
I just seen Lewis's comment. He says, "Oh, Arsenal play on Friday." Yeah, they play Friday, and that at least is flawless. Patiently waited on Friday. Lord help Arsenal if they lose Friday. Going to be brutally disrespectful. Nah, man, I'm always respectfully disrespectful when it comes to Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing I do. Never brutal disrespect. It's always disrespect, but in a respectful manner. Oh, is that Brentford? Yeah, they're gonna lose. Because you know what? Brentford are going to be jumping. First game in the Premier League. You know what it's like facing promotion. All our teams have faced newly promoted side. They're jumping. Opening game
new
on Sky.
Well. Like,
New stadium. And Brentford playing good ball as well. And it's a London derby.
Be one of the first games that they're back in. The fans are back in.
And realistically, like, they're not it now, but Arsenal historically are a big name. They're not it now. Let's
but they are to Brentford. That's a big scout.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
London derby. Let's not forget that. London derby as well. Yeah, this all points to Arsenal losing.
It'll be a full stadium
full
as well.
stadium.
First time they'll have a full stadium.
Well, they'd be rocking.
So
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. And the Emirates is dead anyway, atmosphere-wise.
Yeah.
Nah, it's like Brentford.
No. But what I'm saying is because Arsenal aren't used to playing in front of fans with big crowds and big noises. So it's like you go to Brentford, they're making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Arsenal will be like, you had.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting. All jokes aside, Arsenal could be in a legit fight for top 10. Like, if they finish 8th, that's a good season.
Could be. They are. We just named the team.
I think with them having one game a week,
that's the saving grace for them.
That should save you to be able to finish 7th.
I reckon 8th. I reckon
I got
7th.
That's the agenda. The fact that they've got one game a week, if they don't finish in the top 10,
nah, they'll finish in the top 10.
I'm about to have fun with this.
They'll finish in the top 10. They have to.
I think they'll probably finish around 8th. That's probably where they are.
But Aubameyang has to wake up because it's not.
It depends if how Arteta is going to play him. Does he play him through the middle? Does he play him out wide? Does he go with the back three?
I don't even know why that's a thing. Why do you have Aubameyang?
At this point, you know what the problem is. You have to play Aubameyang and Lacazette together, and you have to go free at the back.
That'd be the smart thing to do. Yes,
you have to.
Find a system for your players. Like I don't get these rigid managers that can't bend and change to suit the players that they have. Like you've got Aubameyang and Lacazette. Like you've always got one of them missing out. Aubameyang starting, Lacazette's on the bench, or if you start them together, one's on the wing. Like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, like play them together. Like they
look good when they play together. You can have two strikers, bro. Like,
I'm probably trolling. He says Arsenal are dark horses for top 4. I wouldn't go that far. Top 8. Well, that's where I can't say dark horses. That's where they're supposed to be. I wouldn't say top 4 because I don't think they've done enough.
Dark horses. They're dark horses for top 10, top 8. They're not dark horses.
I think they finished like 8th is where they're supposed to be.
Dark horses for top 10.
That's what I would say.
That's disrespectful.
I would say that
we
did just name teams around him who they are going to be.
West Ham, Villa, Everton, Tottenham.
Yeah. The 5.
Leicester. There's 5.
Yeah, and then the 4.
Yeah.
Chelsea City.
Leeds on top of that. Like they are legitimately in a top 10 fight.
Yeah, we'll
but like you said, is the fact that they've got one game a week should help them.
We'll probably get a surprise. We'll probably get a surprise from the lower league as well. Like how do we see Spurs lining up with Nuno? Let's go into that. What's your thoughts? Yeah, how do we see him doing though? Like, what's the let's say Kane stays. What does that do to Spurs?
7th.
You reckon they finish 7th?
7th. Wow.
7th. Because defensively, they're a shambles.
Well, even with the I'm hearing a lot about
Romero sign is a great signing.
This is what I keep hearing.
I've never seen him play.
But who's next, dude?
You know what? That's what Eleanor said yesterday. She's like, you still got Dyer or Sanchez next to him.
I like Sanchez, you know. I do hope he can come good at some point.
As expression called him the Colombian PS4.
The
switching up.
But right,
that's what he always calls it. Right, but the Colombian PS4. He's always switching off.
No, but this is what I'm saying. So it's like you've got realistically, who they got
Large
a
of
right back as
expressions,
well?
yo. Oh.
Like Aurier.
Yeah, you got Aurier. They really do have bad options
Yeah,
in
that's
defensively.
what I'm saying.
They have
Lloris
bad
isn't the
options.
goalkeeper that he once was. Realistically,
They have real
so it's
bad
like
options.
Romero's a great signing. Rodin's still unproven. He's got potential, but he's
Reguilon's still there though.
Yeah, Reguilon's still there,
Yeah.
which is fine. But then it's like realistically, Nuno plays free at the back. Doherty suits a wing back. But then what do you do?
Does he play? I'm very surprised because I was asking Slavs this. What formation of Spurs been playing? He's like, yeah, it's been a 4-4-2. I'm very surprised he's
I'm
not gone
surprised
there
by that
and played a back three.
because he's not got the players for it. That's his problem.
I don't think he has the players for the back four though.
No, he does. He's more suited to a back four than he's trying to play a back three. At this point. Yeah, because you can block the midfield out and try and make it as tight as possible.
You got Højbjerg in front of that, so he's defensive, but then you only got Højbjerg.
You can be more defensively rigid in terms of you play a back four than you ever could with a back three.
You don't reckon a back three and Højbjerg in front of that can add to that? You don't think so?
Nope.
Nope. And then you got Doherty, who is you have with the wing backs you're sorted with Reguilon and Doherty.
That's what I'm saying. But
so those and then you the three centre backs.
That's the issue.
But they'll probably sign another centre back.
Yeah, but they need to
because you've got Rodon.
You need to sign a whole 11.
Who's decent? You got Romero, and then if you sign another, then maybe you look at it. Lloris is still a competent enough goalkeeper.
Yeah, but he's not the player that you want.
Prime saying Romero's good, but he only plays in a back suits a back three. Did he play in a back three for Atalanta?
Yeah.
So it makes sense then to play him in a back three.
Yeah, but this is why I'm saying they need to buy another centre back.
And I think they will.
Yeah, no, they have to because otherwise Nuno can't play his system.
That makes no sense playing a back four and then you sign a centre back who plays in a back three.
Because realistically, you look at Tottenham's squad. This is the way I'd suit up. Let's say, for example, you've got your centre back in who's competent, right? You play Reguilon left wing back, Doherty right wing back. You play Rodin, Romero, whoever the other centre back is, and Lloris, right? That's sound, depending on who the centre back is. Højbjerg just in front of him. You could even play Højbjerg and then Ndombele. Having Ndombele as the box.
Højbjerg and Ndombele is very good.
You then go Kane as the false nine, on one side, Lucas or Bergwijn the other.
Yeah.
When he drops deep, going behind, and then you've got the wing backs, and you've always got overloads on either flank. And this is why Italy did so well in the Euros, is because when you look at each side that he went to, there was always an overload. There was always a 3v2, a 2v1, and Tottenham can create that, and that's what Nuno was so good at when he was at Wolves. You'd have Adama Traore, Doherty, and Neves on that side. You'd have Moutinho, Jota, and Vinagre on that side, and they were always creating overloads.
Yeah.
And when you look at their system as well, is they were always predominantly looking to get the ball in as quickly as early for Jimenez. So Kane would thrive on that in Nuno's system, but he needs that player. Without that, he's not got the chess piece, and that's his problem.
And I think he will sign the chess piece. But say he loses Kane, what does that do to them?
Tottenham are finished.
Yeah, they're done.
They finished.
How do you feel about Dele Alli? What do you see from him this season?
I'll let you answer.
It depends on a lot of the things we're talking about because there's so many variables. Does Kane stay? Does Kane go? What system does Nuno play? Does Nuno like him? There's a player in Dele Alli. The problem with Dele Alli is he's a midfielder who gives you goals and not much else. So if you utilize the system to him, that's what Poch did. He understands that Dele Alli, outside of scoring goals, he doesn't really give you too much. Yeah. What else does he give you? It's not like he's a creative player who's going to thread through passes. Yes, he makes intelligent runs, but he'll make intelligent runs for himself in terms of scoring goals. So if you just utilize him as a goal-scoring midfielder, fine. Other than that, it depends on how you want to play. Personally, I wouldn't have him in my team, but if you have him, you can get the most out of him. But again, does he really work in, so if they're going to play a back three, he can probably get something out of it. Because a goal-scoring midfielder is a rare trait. Like, there's very few of them. You can get, if you play him week in, week out in a set system, he'll give you double figures. Right, yeah. 10 to 15 goals a season, which is an exceptional return from, because it's not like he's a 9, like he's an actual midfielder. He's a 10. Like, he's not even an 8, he's a 10. So yeah, that's how I would look at it. That's how I'd look at it. And Lewis says Romero isn't even the best number 4 in London. Argentinian. Vlad Chicharichis. Who?
Oh no, Chicharas.
Oh, Chicharas.
What was he? He played for Tottenham years ago. I can't remember what country he's from.
That's a great question. Who is the best number 4 in London? I don't know.
Ben White.
Question. Who is the best number 4 in London?
Ben White.
Ben White. Yeah, Benjamin White. That's a good spot now. 100%. All jokes, man. Listen, I swear he's number 4. Best Danish centre back in West London too, innit? But we move. We hear me. We move. It is what it is. You lot get any questions in? We will answer any questions you have for the next half an hour. So get your questions in. Keep them Premier League related. Make sure you hit the like button on the video if you haven't as well. Who else you want to touch on? Who we
Top
not spoken
scorer
on?
for the season.
All right, let's go on to that. Since you said that, kick it off in it. Who you looking at? Give us your, I don't know, your list of 3 or your list of 5 you're looking
I'm
at.
intrigued by this because I want to see how.
Big Rom.
Okay, Lukaku's the shot. That's one. Who else you got before you get into who is yours? So you got Lukaku as one. Who else? Option wise,
Big Romelu. You have to say Salah's probably going to be up there.
Salah 2 makes obvious sense.
I
think Harry Kane's there.
I was just thinking about Kane. I'm trying to figure out, right?
Whether he moves or stays, Kane's probably going to be in the mix.
I don't think he is.
That's what I'm trying to figure out in my head.
I don't think he is.
That's genuinely what I'm trying to figure out in my head.
He said Ben White stroke come outside.
See, I knew me saying that would irritate him, so I thought, I've got to throw Ben White in.
I think Kane's not going to be in the running for top scorer this season.
Really think so?
Yeah, I don't feel like.
What makes you say that?
I just feel like his head's going to be all over the place if he stays at Tottenham. Because he's come out and said that, he didn't duck training and whatever the case may be.
That nonsense statement.
Yeah, that PR release.
Flawless writ that.
Hey, mine would have been miles better. Put some respect on my name, and that mine would have been miles better than that.
So it's
miles
like you're already wilding out in it, and it's like I said, I feel like City have made their decision because you're ducking training and there's no agreed bid yet.
Yeah, they're not even making bids.
You're ducking training and there's
just the one bid, but
it's not been agreed.
What I'm saying.
So it's like you're ducking training.
I didn't even go back in for it. Villa made 2 bids for Smith Rowe. You know what I'm saying? They made 2 bids for Smith Rowe.
Like Tottenham are well within their rights to say no, we want X amount because he's Harry Kane. So it's like you're ducking training off a bid that's not been accepted. Your head's already all over the place for me.
I hear that.
You bring out that PR.
And realistically, at no point would Tottenham ever going to accept 100 million for you anyway.
Come on, bro.
You're out here trying to force the move.
Understand what position you're in. It's Daniel Levy.
Yeah, we know what Levy's
He's the tightest man in football.
And he's looking at other things as well. If Lukaku's coming back to the Prem for 100 M's.
And Grealish just went for 100 M's.
Yeah,
Grealish just went for 100 M's. You're Harry Kane.
Coutinho went for 142 men. 202 million. He's looking
star guy.
Yeah, you're Harry Kane, you're English, you're a star man. How many years he got left on his contract?
A couple, I think.
So it's like
because he signed a contract recently, so there's still a few.
You've got a few years left. So it's like we're dealing with Daniel Levy. Like, what we doing there, bro? Like, so it's like I just feel like if he, like I said, I think he's watching what's happening at City, and for me, like I said, I think Pep's made his decision with that Grealish signing.
Yeah, I agree.
They wanted Grealish. You can see they wanted Grealish. They weren't playing no games. So it's just like I just feel like his head's going to be gone this season.
Yeah, so do I. That's why I don't think he's going to be up there in the race.
Like I can't see it. I can't see it. So I got Lukaku. I got Salah. After that, I'm not too sure.
So you got Lukaku, Salah.
I can tell you my top 5.
Well, give us your 5. Because I'm just trying to think of names because you might mention someone that I've forgotten. Because I forgot about Salah. Salah's for me. Salah's for obvious reasons. Lukaku for obvious reasons. So, I'm still throwing Kane in there whether he moves or not because I can just see him scoring.
Mine's Lukaku, Salah. I think Mane will be up there this season after the preseason I've seen him have.
Okay.
Vardy is always going to be up there.
Vardy could be a shout depending on you.
I think Danny Ings. Now that
that's
he's
a goodie.
Villa,
Danny Ings is a goodie.
Especially with the fact that they're adding Cantwell to the mix. They've got Buendia there, Leon Bailly, or Bailey, however you want to say. Like I think he could be one that's up there. I think Bamford will be up there as well again.
I knew he was going to say Bamford. If he's more clinical, yes, just because of the amount of chances that Leeds create.
Yeah, but it's like even then, 16 goals last season in his first season in the Premier League, and everyone said he was going to be a flop. Like he will be up there.
That is crazy for your first season in the Prem.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That is incredible for your first season.
No, that's what I mean. So it's like he's going to be up there again. So it's like, do I expect Kane to be in and about it? Yeah, but it depends where his head is. His head's clearly not on it. And what I love is the lack of anything from Gary Neville in terms of the difference.
We didn't even discuss that.
He had that one interview
where he said, "So yeah, but come on, man." Like,
And he gave him a blight. He was
Yeah,
like, it's
give him a blight.
disrespectful, but
yeah, but
I know
like,
Harry Kane and
but-
he's a model professional, and it's like,
no,
bro,
no.
he
Don't tell
took
us
me
what
to
he is.
golf, and we had the interview. Like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
No,
and
no,
it's
no.
like, oh, there must be something, and it's like, bro, come on, bro.
Why is there must be something. Talk about what it is, because like
Imagine Pogba did that interview.
Oh.
we still be talking about it now.
That's what I'm saying.
They would have had him on Crime
And-
Watch
and
with
then-
looking for him with helicopters. It would have been it would have been like that.
No,
It
but
would have
this is-
been like
This
that.
is exactly what I'm trying to say. It's
It would have
like-
been. If that was Paul Pogba, they'd still be going on about it now.
and that's my
If
point.
Paul Pogba was walking around the golf course talking about leaving his club with Gary Neville on a Sky show, they would still be talking about it now.
Yeah.
He did that. And they set him up with the City question because he said, "What's the one player you want to play with?" I knew he was going to say De Bruyne.
Well,
I knew
obviously-
the questioning where I question people like that. I fully knew what Gary Neville was doing. I'm like, Kane, are you going to fall for it? And he did. Fall for it,
Of course
yeah,
he
De
did.
Bruyne. And that's already the place. You know, Kane's not daft. That's already the place most people expect you to go. That's the club you've been linked with heavily. And then you pick the player, one of their main players, as the player you'd like to play with the most. Like, come on. Imagine Pogba did that. If Pogba was on a golf course like with Gary Neville or was on a basketball court with Thierry Henry, for instance, and they asked him and said, all right, what player would you like to play with most? And he turned around and said, Neymar. They will hit the roof because he's been linked most with PSG.
bro,
Exactly.
bro, I'll give it to you like this. Pogba went to, was it his brother's wedding?
Brother's
Yes,
wedding.
his brother's wedding,
And
yes.
danced.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
And
Danced,
that
just
still
danced.
gets talked about now.
Lingard in
He
the
had-
dressing room
Yeah.
danced.
Danced.
Pogba had to post up a video of the fact that he's just come out of surgery to prove that he's injured,
Do you see my point?
because it was being said he's faking it.
Yeah, but do you see my point?
Like, he had to show the world
Yeah.
I'm injured. Like,
That's crazy.
Pogba
did.
had a dance in a dressing room with Lingard, and for 2 years, Sky Sports didn't stop going on about it.
Yeah. Like he's the
Like,
only
like,
player.
like impacts anything on the pitch.
It impacts nothing on
Yeah,
the
but
pitch.
yeah, I've seen Van Dijk dancing enough times in there. He didn't say nothing to him.
And that was another thing about the whole Pogba and Kane situation that I seen online when Rio Ferdinand tweeted what he tweeted about. It'd be absolutely crazy if Pogba did this, and people were like, well, it's okay because Kane's delivered on the pitch for Spurs. So whether you think Kane's delivered or not is not my question.
Well, Pogba's a World Cup winner.
Oh, yeah, he's a World Cup winner. That's not what I'm getting into because I don't want to take away from it. So that makes it okay, is what I'm hearing. That seems to be the gist. As long as you deliver at the top end on the pitch, you can treat your club however you want. So if Pogba did everything that people expected him to do at Manchester United, whereas even if Pogba did perform at the highest level,
let me
he
rebuttal
would
that.
he would just be. I don't agree with that. I'm just saying
No,
he
no.
would be Harry Kane, like in terms
Yeah,
of
it's-
he would have delivered at the highest level. But if Pogba was 10-10 season in season out, United still wouldn't have won the
And
Premier
this-
League
and
or
this is my
Champions
point.
League.
So let me rebuttal that. So we're
Go on.
talking about the same Gary Neville who, when Carlos Tevez performed at the highest level for Manchester United and dipped and went to the Manchester City the way that he did,
Yeah.
was the first one to come out and call him out.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
of
was
course.
Tevez.
But it's
Yeah.
okay because
It's
he's
okay.
performing on the pitch.
Yeah, it's okay. And
No,
that's
it's
my
not.
point is, and that was
Where
the
the double standard?
that was the response that I seen a lot. Like was defensible.
And
Kane's delivered for Spurs.
It's a movable goalpost as well, because we're talking about a striker in comparison to a midfielder that sits deeper than
Yeah,
a
plays in the
defensive
six.
midfielder.
Yeah.
So when you say like he's not delivered, I'm like, what exactly are you looking for out of him from a
Everything
centre
from
midfielder?
You look
Premier
at it,
League, Champions
nah,
League,
Because
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
when
Bowl,
they say delivered, I know people
Yeah.
mostly are talking about goals and assists.
yeah, Super Bowl,
when have you
NBA,
ever
everything. Fam.
seen
People want everything.
ever seen walking stats ever in your life? Ever?
I said this when it got
When?
when it happened because I was at my uncle's at the time and he's not a fan of Pogba, and it came on and I said, you see this stat here is the prime example of why I'm talking about
you will
Pogba and
never
defending.
see that stat
Let me
again.
land here. That's what I said to him. I said, you will never see this stat again. That's a specialist stat. Statman Baines is my guy. Like he does stats. You have to go and get these type of things. That's not open to the public.
And
Like you
never
can't
seen
go
that
and get it.
since.
And we've not seen it since. All right. So show Pogba's walking stats. Show everybody else's. Show Messi's walking stats. Show Ronaldo's walking stats. Show most attacking players' walking stats will be lower because they're not really doing too much when they don't have the ball in that sense.
And this is my point: is that they look
Walking
at
stat, you know.
I know, and then they look at Pogba and they're like, it hasn't delivered. You expect him to do everything for that team,
Yeah.
I just want to point out there he's delivered more trophies to United than Kane has to Spurs.
and he's a World Cup winner. Not just any World Cup. We're talking about the man that had the team talk in the World Cup final to the rest of the team, not the manager, not Deschamps. It was Pogba, and everyone listened. The man scored in the
He
World Cup
delivered.
final.
And I thought that goal, when that goal went in, I think I tweeted it. I was like, that goal like allows people to not be able to say anything about him. He scored. That's the metric you lot only want to judge this guy off goals and assists. You
Which
don't
is-
judge him
which
by
is
any
stupid. Yeah.
midfielder metrics that other midfielders get
this is
judged off.
and this is how you know how mad it is, right? Even coming from a Liverpool fan, you see Pogba being compared to Liverpool midfielders. Why?
Because people want to do that. People
Yeah,
like
but-
the same
yeah,
way.
but
Because
why?
people want.
Yeah, but people want to do the Pogba and Henderson. Right, cool. Henderson is an unbelievable leader. Clearly, so is Pogba by the World Cup video. Have you seen Pogba's ability?
Yeah, it's because people just want to.
What we
Because people want
doing?
to criticize him. That's why they'll just bring up new stuff. That's why Pogba and Kante will get compared. They're not the same player. Nowhere else would an attacking player get compared to Kante.
That's what I mean. It's
Because
like
that shouldn't-
comparing Ronaldo to Lucio
It just wouldn't happen.
in the Brazil
We would
team.
never- we would
tell me
never-
when that happens.
Yeah, we would never see De Bruyne get compared to Kante.
Valu
It would
to
never
Cafu.
happen. Yeah, it's
Two different positions.
different. And the walking stats is up on top of that because their stats you're never gonna see again. But that's because they wanna pose. They're making that question like, oh, is he lazy? Look at his walking. Show everybody else his walking stats.
Show Harry Kane's walking stats. I seen that
Well,
man walk bare last season. By
Of
the way,
course, and it happens. Like, and the thing is, there's nothing wrong with that.
We
Because
play
you need-
Pogba sitting, like we're not telling him he doesn't play as a box-to-box midfielder. Like he sits, so he should be. He's gonna be walking a lot. Like we're not asking him to bust the gut to get into both boxes. Like that's not the case.
But
That's
again,
not how he
that's
plays
that
for us.
daft English
Exactly.
mentality where if you're not running around, you're not doing anything. It's like no. When I watch some of the best players in the world, a lot of them, like I say, I've seen Pirlo play central midfield for years. I don't think I've seen him sprint once.
and when you ever see him
Ronaldinho
sprint,
used to walk a lot.
Always.
because you're smart with your movements. That's what you're always told. It's like you be smart with your movements.
Move
It's like-
intelligently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
don't work
Bur-
hard, work smart.
Like Bergkamp, for example, like the amount of stories I heard about Bergkamp where he's like he could walk in snow and not leave any marks. Like because he's a smart player.
Yeah.
And it's like you look at Pogba and the way that he operates, and it's just like it doesn't make any sense. Like
No one
Pirlo's
used
the
to
prime
call-
example.
Berbatov lazy or moan about his walking. It was he's classy. He's a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
But you got the complexion for the protection. That's what it is. fam. That's the difference. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I like without going all into it, that's what it always. I've noticed that like when it comes to Black Premier League players, they'll never talk about their intelligence. It's always pace, power, and their movement. Yeah, athleticism. They never. To prime example, obviously you don't know. I just like with Mane, for instance, they never talk about how intelligent his runs are. They talk about how and he is quick and powerful and strong and all of those things, which is not a lie. But he's also very intelligent. You don't continue to score goals on the back end. Sterling's another prime example. Sterling's very intelligent football.
His
I never talk
movement
about it.
is
It's ridiculous.
Incredible.
How you always end up at the back post all the time?
at the right time?
At the right time, not offside all the time, season in, season out.
Pogba is one of the most intelligent players as well. Like some of the passes he pulls off, it's just like
Bro, that pass.
I'm watching the game and didn't see that pass.
that
Yeah.
pass in the Euros.
Oh yeah. The
Where
Germany
my
game.
man comes
Yeah.
in on the left.
Germany game, yeah.
Some of them are just like it doesn't make sense. Some of those passes he pulls off, but no one will ever say, "Oh, that's a really intelligent pass." He's an intelligent player.
That's what I mean. But it's
And
like,
to answer Prime's question, because he says what players can be used in comparison to Pogba. When I say that, attacking players, Pogba's an attacking midfielder, so compare him to other attacking midfielders.
I don't
You know what I'm
think
saying?
you can compare him to anybody because all
Nah,
the
'cause
other
he's a hybrid.
midfielders, yeah, like
He's a hybrid to an extent.
that's what I
He
mean.
is
Like,
tough.
he's doing a 6's job, an 8's job, a 10's job sometimes when he's allowed. So it's like, who can you compare him to? You
All right, what
can't
I'd say is
compare him.
then maybe he's a deep lying playmaker then, even
Right,
because he
so
kind
here-
of does that to an extent,
do
a
you know what
quarterback
Pogba-
role.
Pogba reminds me of?
Maybe.
Do you know what Pogba reminds me of? Is when Gerrard had to do everything by himself and carry it like he's a hybrid.
team,
Gerrard
yeah.
had to be a hybrid. Pogba was a hybrid. I think Gerrard
Because
worked
Pogba is
bare
doing a lot,
times.
because he's doing a lot of defensive stats and attacking stats.
Like
That's
when you
what
look at
it
his
is.
duels and his ball recoveries and whatnot, like normally he's outperforming our 6
Yeah, no one
He's
wants to talk
athletic.
about that.
every game.
No one wants to talk.
Well, he's
about
lazy
that.
though.
Every
No one
game.
He's
wants
lazy
to talk
though.
about
He's
that.
lazy though.
More often than not,
No one wants to talk
'Cause I
about
always
that.
check the stats after the game. More often than not, he has the most ball recoveries, most duels won, like every game.
Because of his intelligence, because he
Since-
knows what position
and
to
you know
pick
what's
up on the pitch to intercept.
I was
and
even
to
crazy
get
about
himself
that.
put
He's
in
not
there.
even a defensive player. That's the
And
mad
that's
part.
my point.
That's the weak, and he'll tell you that himself. That's the weak part of my game. That's why he's given away 2 or 3 penalties last season, because that's the weak part of his game. But because he's 6'3", he's expected to do everything. If he was 5'8" with his abilities, he's not playing as a 6. He's 5'8", and it's because he's built like a box-to-box midfielder. Just because you're built like it doesn't make you. In the same way we're talking about Lukaku, just because you're 6'3", whatever, doesn't necessarily make you a target.
No, exactly.
And that's what it is. That's the problem that you have with Pogba. That's what that is. It's therefore. But someone mentioned it as well. I'm going to it. Crystal Palace. Obviously, Patrick Vieira's gone in there. Why did you laugh? Go on. Why did you laugh when I said that? With Crystal Palace. Go on.
Like, what's this man done as a manager
Yes.
to warrant a Premier League team?
That's a valid point. That's a very valid point. I don't know. Has he not coached anywhere beforehand?
Yeah.
Have they just give it him?
And look what happened.
I don't know legit. What did he do?
America he was. Where was he?
Yeah, that's on Henry was in
went
America.
to, just type in Patrick Vieira manager.
What did he do?
Honestly, people online, type in Patrick
I
Vieira
do have to discuss
manager.
this. What did he do?
Look at his stats.
I legit don't know what he did.
Honestly, just look.
I don't know legit. Don't know
Look
what he did.
at the mess.
What did he do?
I'll wait.
Okay, don't do that to me.
People online. Patrick Vieira manager stats. Genuinely. And this man somehow landed a Premier League job.
Hey, it happens.
It was out of the blue. Yeah.
Like,
Because here's the thing is, because Palace are not in a good state whatsoever.
no, because realistically, they are. Benteke is getting past it. You've got Scott Danning. I like that Anderson is just bought because I think he did a good job at Fulham last year. They've lost Van Aanholt, which is criminal to let him go, by the way. Riederweld's getting on. You've got McCarthy and MacArthur, which is it's just awful. Zaha, I don't think he stays there for much longer. I honestly don't.
Depends if someone. Because I know they got a lot of players out of contract.
I can see Zaha going to Everton.
They got a lot of
in
players
the next couple of years.
That makes sense.
But it's like, they're just a mess. Like, they're not good. Like, I genuinely think they're in a relegation battle, honestly.
Yeah, because they got a lot of players out of contract. Is it not like 14 players out of contract?
14 players out of contract, right? Zaha, I don't think he stays there for much longer. There you go. There's the stats.
Oh, he was at NYCFC.
Yeah.
Also, he was in America, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
Like, look what he did since. See my point? This man landed a Premier League job off the back of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got the job off name alone. Patrick Vieira.
Yeah.
Warranted nothing.
Desperate.
I am glad to see a black manager in the Premier League.
No, I am.
It does need to be warranted. Like,
Yes.
I am. Like, I'd love to see it. You two know this. I'd
Yeah,
love to see
100%.
it. But come on.
Crystal Palace, though.
Just having a look. I said it's because of Crystal Palace that they're not an attractive proposition.
No,
when you got like 14 players out of contract and they're top players, that's the problem that you have. That's the problem you have. You want to, as a manager, why would you go to Palace in that
I
predicament?
think he just wants to get his feet.
No. That's what I'm saying is as a as a manager with anything.
No. For him,
anything behind you. Yeah,
this
that's
is
why I'm saying Vieira went there. That's probably why. It's not an attractive proposition.
No.
Who's going there? If you go to, all right, let's pick. Say for instance, it was big. Why would Big Sam go to Palace in that state?
No, not in that state.
It's my point. He's been there before, but that's my point. Is Big Sam? We're not talking the top table of managers. We're talking about managers below that and levels below that. If you're a C, D, E level manager, why would you go to Palace? Knowing you're going to lose top players and you're not going to have money to spend.
Players are out of contract. Yeah, that's what I mean. You don't. Before we go, one thing I do want to say, did you see the reception Saka got at Tottenham, by the way?
Yeah.
I seen the banner. I didn't, but go and talk about it.
I don't like it.
What?
This is you're Tottenham in it. Like, don't. I seen them put out the tweet as well. Like, rivalries aside, I don't like that.
Rivalries aside when it's
I'm a
when it's something like
Grinch,
this.
though,
Nah,
innit?
you are. Yeah, you are.
Like that,
yeah, but even then, that still shocked me. The fact you didn't like it, I rated it. To be fair.
Why go on, Straw? What actually did they do? All I seen was the
Yeah,
banner.
no, so they put banners when he came on the pitch. He got a standing ovation by the Tottenham fans.
I don't like.
I like the banner. You know what I'm saying? I do like the banner part.
Don't like that.
Because you have to. Some things are bigger than football, and that is one of them. So I do like the banner. Nah, it's bigger than football.
Do you know the only thing that was bigger than football to me is like remember the arena bombing, and we was in the Europa League final, and City were quite classy during that period. I rated that. Outside of that, no.
Nah, that's one of them. I understand.
Just a quick one.
Talk to me.
Two things. One, Ryan.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see you and Ryan on the same show.
Stop talking about Brighton. Graham Potter is not that guy.
Oh yeah, he keeps hyping up Graham Potter, the guy who finished 15th last season.
What Brighton do this season? The same thing they've done for the past 2 seasons, just about scramble relegation.
Yeah, that's what they do. They'll finish above the relegation zone. And I do rate Graham Potter as a manager, knowing there as highly as Ryan does. But yeah, he's a good manager and that's that. That's it. He's a decent manager.
What do you think about Ryan as a Liverpool fan? Do you agree with his views?
Absolutely not. I like him, but come on, the Salah agenda is just weird.
Y'all get on the show, innit? Y'all need to get on the show.
And we're gonna bring him on here.
Yeah,
100%.
we're gonna bring him on here, but like, come on, man. Like Salah's stats are insane.
The Salah one, I get, like I said, he's a bit, and I said this to him yesterday, and was it yesterday? Yeah, it was, and it made me laugh because I was like, I get most of the time where you're coming from. I said, You're very similar to Toxin. Your delivery at times is trash.
Nah,
and that takes away from your point. I legit said it to him on the stream yesterday. I was like, his point, most of 95% of the time, whether I agree or disagree with Ryan, I know where he's coming from. Even with the Salah one, even though I disagree, I know where he's coming from.
Because Salah can go 90, 85 minutes and be terrible, but he'll still score you 2.
That used to be a plus in your box of a player where it's like he might have a bad game, but he'll still produce something.
Yeah.
That used to be something that you'd big players up on. Whereas now it's like, oh, he scored a goal, but what did he do for the rest of the game? To me, I'm still happy with if you contributed.
This is what I'm saying.
It's one of them. It depends on how often that is. Because say, for instance, it's a 38 game season, and out of the 30 games you play, you do that 27 times. That's okay. If you do that 12 times, that's a problem. That's a problem. What did your team win at the end? Like, because we have this discussion all the time. Like, that's why Rashford divides. That's why Bruno divides opinion.
Yeah, but it's like it depends on the position you're in. Like, if you're a striker,
that's a different.
And you don't really contribute in the game, but you still come out with a goal, assist.
Yeah, that's
I'm happy. Like I said, like 10 years ago, that used to be something that you'd highlight players for.
Yeah, and this is my point. When you look at Salah's stats, if he was to stay in the Premier League for 10 years, for example, he rivals Shearer in terms of his goals per game.
But the difference is his goals, Salah's goals and assists has come to trophies for you, man. That's why I get on Ryan's case about it, because he's delivered. My issue with that is when you have that a la Van Nistelrooy and it doesn't deliver. That's when I look at you first. Because these goals and assists are all well and good, but what's it delivering for the team? Salah's delivered for you, lot. Does he have deficiencies in his game? Yes. Is there sometimes where he's quiet? Yes. But he's delivered the 2 biggest trophies for you lot. And even last season, take away his goals, you lot don't finish in top 4.
Exactly. Hold on. Potter is a world-class coach. No, he's not.
I wouldn't say
world-class.
But Prime saying there, thank you, Stroke.
World-class coach.
Ryan, you're wilding, bro.
Yeah, he is wilding.
World-class.
Potter is overrated.
That's wild.
Yeah, Prime says thank you, Stroke. Potter is overrated and overhyped. I think he's rated fairly.
No,
not by Ryan.
Yeah,
I think everyone else rates him fairly.
I think he's a good coach. He's a good manager.
Yeah, and that's as far as it is.
To be honest, I think he's a great coach. I think he's a better coach than he's manager.
Okay.
Because you can see the impact he has in terms of the training ground. However, I think his in-game management lacks a lot of the time. World class is
and he did a good job at where he was at before. Austenson's, wasn't it? Not? He did a good job.
Like, he's a good manager. He's a great coach.
That's what I would say. Nah, Potter's better than Ollie. Don't do that, Prime. See, this is where you underrate him. Potter's better than Ollie, but that's not difficult. That is really low hanging fruit. But Potter is definitely 100% like better. You can see Graham Potter. You can see what he's trying to do. You can see the plan he's trying to implement, and he gets the most out of what he has. Like if you give him my side, he does better.
Right,
at least play entertaining football.
Here's a question: who gets relegated?
Quickly, who's come up? So Watford have come up, Brentford have come up, and Norwich have come up.
Brentford and Norwich are going down.
I'll put Norwich in that. I don't know. It depends. A lot of this depends on business because one player can change it.
I think Watford are good to stay up.
I reckon Watford are good to stay
up. So do I.
I think Watford are good to stay up. But I look at Norwich. I don't know how much they've added. Brentford, I don't know too much about to say.
I'm about to go wild with this.
Were you saying Newcastle?
No,
I think Palace could be in trouble.
I was just you just took the words out of
my
mouth.
I reckon this is what I think. I think Brentford stay up. I think Watford stay up. I think Norwich go down.
Norwich.
I think Palace are in real trouble.
I think Palace could be, yes.
100%. And I think this season is the season.
Oh, you always hating on my guy, you know. Why you always hating? You know what I'm saying? Just because you took your home record and that. Why you always hating?
Who?
They're not going down. And you always hating on Mr. Sean Dyche. Why you always hating?
This season
Why
is
you always hating,
I
man?
didn't even need to say he knew exactly where I was going with it.
Why you always hating on Ben?
This
like, man
season
stays
is
up. It's not the season. You know they ain't getting relegated.
This is the season.
They're not one of the worst teams in the league. They're not one of the worst 3. They're staying up.
Tis the season to be jolly.
Okay, you can
this
hope.
This is the season.
Like you can hope, but you know they're not getting relegated.
I'm
in
telling
your
you,
heart of hearts, you know.
I know that they're in a lot of trouble.
Why are they in a lot of trouble?
I've told you this financially.
Yeah,
they're a mess.
They don't spend money anyway.
No, but they're losing players. They're a mess.
Who they lost? I don't know. I'm asking who they lost.
There's talks of Dwight McNeil going.
Okay,
they're not happy.
Dwight McNeil,
that's a big loss.
He'd be a big
Chris
loss.
Wood's potentially looking for a way out because he's not happy.
Why is Chris Wood not happy?
Because the finances, they're a mess.
Oh, you're talking about wages.
Yeah.
Right. Go on. So Wood, McNeil, they would be blows.
That's what I'm saying. I think Tarkowski is potentially on his way out.
They'll be fine. They'll get in. They'll be fine.
You don't rate Tarkowski?
No, what I'm saying is in terms of the way Burnley play, like it's a conveyor belt. He'll get another player. And he might not be as good as Tarkowski, but to come in and do a job because of the way Burnley play. But Neil's a big blow.
Yeah, it's like a robot. Like you just.
Yes, literally. It's like that's Burnley and the way they
what
play.
I mean.
They play that rigid football. So it's like, all right, we're just gonna get another tough, rugged centre back to fit that profile. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a tripping. It is.
That's it. And I don't think they're one of the worst either.
No, I just think given
just
everything
hope.
that's happened. No, it's not hope. It's not hope.
You always
I genuinely
hate it,
think
man.
they're struggling.
You're the only person that thinks that Burnley are gonna get relegated.
I was the only person that says Sam Allardyce's record would go. Correct me or not?
You did say, yeah, you was one of the very few. Yeah.
And what happened?
Yeah, he's man, that's a relegate. What, 1 in 20 years?
4 months before it happened, did I not say Nuno would get the Tottenham job?
Yeah, you did say Nuno would get the Tottenham job.
This season.
Yeah, you called that.
You got that insider info from.
Yeah, but he just hating on Burnley.
I'm not hating on Burnley.
He's therefore hating. You always hating on Sean Dyche. I know you don't like the football, but they stay up and they took your home record, man. Fam, it's okay. You gotta get over it, man. It's happened. It's gone. They'll stay up. Because this Burnley, like I said, because of the way the analogy you used with the iRobot thing, that's Burnley for you. They'll be fine. Who else? I don't know. Like I said, it depends on the window you have. Because one player can change it. That's what I would say. One player can change all of that. Big up to everyone who is locked in, whether you're watching this. But I didn't even realize it's 3 minutes to go.
Southampton. I think Southampton are in a
with
real
Danny
mess.
Ings missing. That's definitely.
Because they've got Shane Long who doesn't score and Chadens who's unproven in the Premier League.
Yeah,
I think they're really going to struggle.
But love to everybody who has locked in, whether you're watching this live or watching this back on the YouTube. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Please make sure you hit the like button on the video, share it across all the socials, and subscribe to the Pi Radio YouTube as well. You might have been listening in via more traditional radio means like on DAB radio. Love to everyone who's supporting from a Third Eye View. We are here every Monday, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. discussing all things Premier League. We'll be back next week as well to discuss the first weekend Premier League action. So probably Arsenal's lost to Brentford. Hopefully United win against Leeds. Who Liverpool got this weekend? I forgot.
Norwich.
Let's hope for a Norwich win as well. So yeah, we'll see what's going on, people. But obviously Tux is a special guest, so we'll start with him. Anything you want to add, family, before we leave?
Nah, bless for everyone tuning in. Follow everyone on social media, all that good stuff.
Yes, make sure you do that. Follow me at Twitter and on Twitter and Instagram at That's Me Flawless, and that way you can find Tux and Stroh's links as well. I'm gonna end the broadcast.
TOX2K21.
There you go.
Follow me.
TOX2K21 people. Stroh, anything you want to add before we leave?
Rob Holding's on his way to Newcastle.
For real.
Yeah.
Mad.
That step up for Rob Holding.
Yeah,
definite step up. Bigger club.
Yeah.
Bigger club.
100%.
You know, wilding. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Stroh, take us out. I'm going to end the broadcast. But love to everyone who's locked in. Please make sure you lock in next week. Like I said, we're here every Monday, 7 p.m. on the Pi Radio, YouTube, and DAB Radio.
Yeah, peace and love to everyone that's tuned in. You are about to witness the funniest Premier League season of all season when you watch the Amazon Prime Arsenal. Good luck, Arsenal. We're waiting for you to slip up on Friday. I'll see you on Friday, boys.